Hello, welcome to Scotch Talks podcast. I'm your host, Scotch, and thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, a couple seconds in, thank you for sticking with me. Today's guest is Jake Ricker. He is a documentary photographer from San Francisco, California. Jake is an incredible photographer. He's got such a unique eye and way of observing the streets of San Francisco. If you've never been to San Francisco, his Instagram is a place to start. I respect Jake and what he does and what all street photographers do. I deep down do believe that Jake is going to have photos that will last for hundreds of years, thousands of years, whatever. They're historical, I feel. Do such a great job of capturing San Francisco and the streets of San Francisco and society where we're at right now. And I really, really feel like he has such a bright future and such a strong presence in documentary photography. So, speaking of documenting, our little artist guest today, the opener, is going to be my good friend Corinne. She's a writer, and right now she's traveling in Asia for about a year. She'll be back soon, but she is such a great friend, and we spent time in Africa together, and we formed a lifelong friendship. So we send voice memos back and forth with each other, and one day I just asked her why she wrote, and she came back with a response. I said, okay, good response. But then the next day she came back with a voice memo and said something really, really beautiful, I think, about truth and what it means for her to write, and maybe like what it means for all of us to be doing what we're doing, chasing truth. And that's something that I feel like connects with Jake as well, is chasing a truth, right? Or trying to understand a certain situation, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Jake is just doing it for a meditative state. He's just observing and capturing like the quirky things that he sees on the streets. But I think deep down we're all chasing truth in what we do. We all want to know why we're here, what our purpose is. So what a better way to start off this podcast than with this mini voice memo from my great friend Corinne. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, their Instagrams, Jake and Corinne's Instagrams, will be in the bio. So check them out when you get a chance. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you.
Hi, you. I have been thinking about what I said in my previous message about the reasons that I write, and they're fine. They're all somewhat accurate, but I felt like they weren't entirely what I was trying to say. And I just wrote something that I feel expresses it a little bit better. So I thought I would read it to you. Okay, ready? I write to process the world. I write to grab hold of the fleeting thoughts that flash through my mind in the hopes that eventually, if I can capture enough of them, I can find some meaning. I write to find meaning and to document it and to share it with others. I don't think the ultimate truth lies in words. Scott is probably coming closer with photos. Their truth is intrinsic, undebatable. The Argentinian man playing ukulele 2 bungalows over, or whoever painted the mural on the side of the building, they too are expressing truth in a more straightforward way than writing. We experience truth daily in our interactions and emotions, in our heartbeats, our breath. We don't need art for the meaning to exist, but we do need it to understand, to process. And that is why I write. I think the most clear, logical understanding of truth requires words. Of course, in its necessity also lies its limitation. We will never be able to fully categorize an existence so far beyond us into languages we create. But we can keep understanding a little better. We can keep getting just a little bit closer to truth. And that's what I'm after, I realize. I write for truth. Thanks for listening. Thanks for asking. Good night.
Yeah, I'm recorded.
All right.
Hello.
Yo.
Welcome. Today's guest is Jake Ricker.
Yep. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't really know where to begin. You said you're from Scottsdale, Arizona?
Mesa,
No,
Arizona.
Mesa,
but on
Arizona.
the border. Mesa. Scottsdale's cooler. Mesa's, it's still cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I went to like Scottsdale Community College, but I went to Mesa High School.
Okay.
So that gives you an idea of where I was. It was kind of on the border of like Tempe, Mesa, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I'm from.
Wait, did you go to college?
Yeah, but I dropped out.
Okay. Why?
Just wasn't ready. I'm ready now. I feel like I could go to school now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday. But I just wanted to be outside shooting and stuff. Like I went to photo school and I hated being inside talking about photography. I'd rather be outside shooting. So then I quit school and then got a job as a bike messenger to shoot photos outside all day and get paid to do it without getting paid for my photography. So that's literally how it started. I literally like started taking photos in high school because of a darkroom class.
Okay.
From a camera my uncle gave me. And then just kind of fell in love with it. Not like in a serious way, but I like fell in love with just doing it. And that was like 2004. Whoa. Which I'm like really thankful that I started then because it was like before the internet really. Mm-hmm. I guess MySpace was there, but like no one was like showing photos on MySpace really. Like I wasn't at least, or I wasn't even looking at photos on MySpace. And I just kind of did it to do it. And then I found Flickr like 2007 or 8. So I kind of had like 2 or 3 years of just shooting because I wanted to without ever really showing anybody or ever like not really. Like my parents saw some of my photos and like liked it and encouraged me and like were supportive and would like help me buy film and stuff because I started with film. And then they bought me a digital camera in like 2007. It was like a Canon 30D. Not even full frame, still amazing. I'm like super thankful. And then that got stolen. And then I just went back to film. Okay. I never stopped shooting film, but I kind of did try digital just because like, I guess that's, I don't know. They got it for me. So why not? But
do you ever go back to digital?
I have a digital camera now, but I don't like it. I like hate it actually. Like strongly dislike any photo I've ever taken with it.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of actually, it bothers me.
Wow.
Yeah. But I do it because it's like free and I'll do it for work stuff. But it's definitely not my go-to.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just kept shooting and then went to SCC, like Scottsdale Community College for photo stuff. And then kind of started taking it somewhat seriously. And then I moved to Seattle to go to like the Art Institute of Seattle for photography. But I don't know. I just like didn't like school. Wasn't ready. Was just, I don't know, like 19 or whatever, like going through 19-year-old bullshit. I was like over it and wanted to leave. And then I left and started becoming a bike messenger in like January 2009. And I stopped like September, October 2017.
Oh, wow.
So it was like almost 8 years.
And then after that,
it was like almost 9 years. It was like 8 years and like 10 months or something.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah.
Good
and
for
so
you.
in that time I was like shooting like every day, But I really like, even when I started in like 2009, 2010, like I really didn't even like shoot a lot until like 2012. And then 2012, 2013, 14, I moved here early 2014. But like 2012, 2013, I was shooting a lot more, really like trying to shoot more street photography rather than like just shooting it as I rode around. Like in my downtime, I would kind of like stand on a corner and kind of like see what's up. Mm-hmm. And that was like my first like kind of experience with trying to get photos rather than just like documenting the things I saw in my day-to-day life or ride or work day or whatever. But I didn't know what street photography was. Like literally I found out about like Gary Winogrand a year ago. Most people would be like, what the fuck? Like,
see, I don't know who that is. So.
Yeah. Well, he's like a super famous street photographer. Okay. So I guess like, there you go. I mean, not everyone knows who he is, but I guess to a street photographer, he's like the guy. I mean, and then you could start naming others that like just fall down the line of like basically like the top 20. I might know like 5 of them by name, and then I probably know like 10 of them by their work, and I probably don't know the other 10 at all or something.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I just kind of like found out that guy the other like a year ago, or like I guess maybe at this point like a year and a half ago, and then I saw him like, oh yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, oh, I kind of do stuff like that. Oh, that's interesting. Like he does this or that I like identify with as like, oh, that's like a habit that I've like also fallen into or whatever.
What do you mean by habit?
I mean, just noticing like these little patterns of behavior of like humans and stuff, and like the stuff we all do.
Got you.
But yeah, and then I moved here early 2014, still was a bike messenger, still on the road, and then shot a bunch of stuff up until now, still shooting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Because we were just going through Jake's photos, to those of you listening. And a lot of it focuses on human behavior. Like, what about that interests you?
I personally like street photography because you could never like do it again. Like you only have that split second to get it. And if you miss it, that's it. I mean, you can keep shooting and you can kind of like follow the person or step around them or like shift, but sometimes it's never the same again and you miss it. I like that. I like when you get it because you know that it can never happen again. You can never duplicate it. It's like a 1 in a million moment. Something about that I'm like super drawn to. Like I don't dislike studio stuff or stage setup stuff. It's not my thing. I just think like if you were to have like a roll of film get ruined or a memory card fail, like you could hire the same person wearing the same clothes and light them the same and do it all over again tomorrow. Yeah. That's fine. I just love the fact that like you're just shooting with this one thing, you have one go at it. A lot can go wrong but when it all falls into place, there's like nothing that can compare. I guess that's kind of like why I do it. And I just like people watching and being outside and just, I don't know, like I don't really set out to take like a specific photo. I just kind of take it if it interests me. And then like sometimes it comes out good and sometimes it doesn't. And then sometimes I just took a photo to take it and it came out way better than I would have ever imagined it would have. I don't know. It's just kind of how I do it. But like, I like taking photos of everything, like super funny things, super fucked up things, super beautiful things, super ugly things, crazy things, whatever, you know. I kind of don't like have any rules really. I'll take whatever. Yeah. No matter what.
And so that gets me into the next question, like, also, are you uncomfortable like that? No. You can like switch up.
I'm good.
Want. Okay. Gets me into the next question where do you ever feel bad for taking certain photos? Or like, do you ever hesitate taking certain photos? Or have you had particular
Rarely.
run-ins with angry people after you've taken their photo?
That almost never happens. And that's like a question I get asked like a lot. I almost never have an altercation or someone say anything to me, which is kind of insane because I feel like I get pretty close.
That's so insane because even if I've done it a couple times, right? And I'll be on the street and I've gotten it like 6-7 times out of like the 20 times I've done it.
Yeah.
And like people are like, I'm going to beat your ass if you don't like get out, or like, give me your camera. Like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been with you. I don't know what you're doing, but like,
it's nothing crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, people do get like too aggressive. I'm pretty damn close.
Okay.
Shooting with only a 35mm lens. So it's like not wide. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a 28, which is pretty wide. It's not a 50, which you kind of have to step back for. Like, I think 35 is right in the middle. A lot of people like 28 or 50. I like the middle of it. Mm-hmm. I have more. I guess I shouldn't say I have more. I've had more altercations with people walking down the street with a camera than I ever have with a camera. Like, I've literally walked down the street, hands at my side, just like walking, and someone's like, "You take a photo of me?" And I'm like, dude, no, like my hand wasn't even on my camera. It's film. It doesn't record. Cause I think people might think it's like a video camera around my neck, just filming as I walk by. I don't know what they think, but that's the times I've had the most problems.
Oh, wow.
Is when I actually wasn't shooting a photo.
Yeah.
Which is really strange. But yeah, like I would say out of the like 300 or 400 rolls a year I shoot, out of all those photos, I would say maybe 2 times a year someone might say something to me.
Oh, wow.
Maybe. Like, I can't even remember the last time I had a thing.
Damn, you're lucky.
I don't know what I'm doing because like,
I feel
like I stand out too. Like, I have a lot of tattoos and I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with my shooting. I'm pretty comfortable with my camera. And I feel like people pick up on vibes. Right. Of people, like if they're being weird, like, or if you know how you can like feel someone staring at you and you like look over, like you can like, I don't know, I'm not even that kind of person to be like, oh, those vibes, man. But like, I feel like we all know the feeling. Like if someone like, you know, when you're like on the bus or something and you like look up and you like lock eyes with someone and you kind of feel like, did they just look at me at the same time I looked at them, or were they always looking at me? You know what I mean? Like you have that, like, you kind of question yourself. Or you've done it where you like looked over at a split second before they looked over and then they look at you like, have you been looking at them the whole time? I just feel like we all like pick up and read that shit. Yeah. So like I'm comfortable and chill and I'll take a photo and just smirk and keep walking and no one says shit. Wow. I feel like if you act like you're supposed to be doing it, people are like so wrapped up in life that they just don't even question it, like at all. It's super weird because I see people sneak photos of me all the time. I guess that's the other thing. I don't sneak photos. My camera is to my eye every time. Gotcha. At least 99% of the time. Wow. So like I don't shoot from the hip or like the chest ever, almost. Like I would say like maybe 5 times a year I'll like take something really quickly, like maybe because I didn't see it right away and I just like was trying to get one off because I saw something at the last second. It wasn't even, there was no time. But rarely do I ever try sneaking a photo of somebody, because to me, I get weirded out when people do that. Like I think you have like something to hide, or that's weirder to me than if you just took it because you were supposed to take it. Yeah. And I see street photographers do that all the time. It kind of bugs me because I feel like that's just giving what we're all doing like a bad name or like a bad vibe. If like you have a bunch of aggressive weirdo people sneaking photos, even though their intentions are fine, it shows people that like there might be a different intention because you're sneaking it.
So do you believe that street photography is something that can be learned, or something that you're just kind of like, if you have the right energy and the right presence, I guess, on the street, you're not this creepy person sneaking around, like you're this cool, chill, calm person who's comfortable. Like, do you feel like it can be learned? and taught, or do you feel like it's...
Yeah, I mean, anybody can do it, and I feel like you can learn like tips and tricks, but like there comes a point where like not everyone's cut out for it, and if you get confronted by a certain somebody and like you're not prepared to like deal with the consequences, like it can get bad really quickly. I've been with people where someone got mad and I quickly try to de-escalate the situation, and it does happen. Like, and I've been with a friend, I can think of it like it wasn't that long ago, where this dude came up to me, turned his back to me like a foot away, and he had a lizard on him. And I just was like, well, I'm going to take this photo because there's a lizard on this guy's back. And I took the photo and he turned around and he's like, did I say you could take it? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, you walked up to me, turned your back, and you have a lizard on your back and you're mad that I took a photo. And I was just like, don't drive the clown car around if you don't want people to smile at you. And he just got all fucking pissed. It was like, what if I take my camera out and film you? I was like, I'd be happy. Like, go for it, dude. And he like takes his iPhone out. He's like, oh, I got this fucking guy taking photos of me. And I was like, yep, what up? Like, peace to the camera and all that shit. And I'm just like, dude, you're looking for something. I don't know what you're trying to find, but like, I would suggest not talking to people like that anymore. And he just like walked off. And the dude that was with me was just like, oh shit. Like, and like maybe 3 years ago, I took a photo of this dude, like probably like a 60-year-old, like black dude dressed really nicely. He had like a leather, like suit blazer kind of jacket on. And he had like a San Francisco Giants scarf tied, like really cool. And like a nice, like leather, like, I don't even know, maybe like just like an old man hat, like a conductor hat kind of. I don't even know what they're called. It's not a fedora, but he just had like a cool hat on. And I took a photo of him and he like grabbed my arm like he wanted to fight. And I was like, yo, like, he's like, you can't be fucking taking photos like that. And I was like, yo, sorry. Like, you look great today. No disrespect. Like, I should have asked, I'm sorry I didn't, kind of thing. And I never do, but it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. And like, once you ask someone to take a photo, to me, it's pointless after that. But unless you're like a portrait photographer, that's fine. If that's who you are, I don't know. Like, I just think street photography should be candid. So I never ask. And then, so like, he grabs my arm, like I said, and I just de-escalate it. And he just doesn't take sorry. You know what I mean? I was just like giving him a compliment, apologizing, no disrespect. Like, you look great today. Like, I should have asked you. Right.
Was he still holding you?
Holding my arm. And he like wanted to like keep talking shit. And there's only a certain point where I'm like apologetic and then I'm going to not be as nice. And I was like, look, man, I apologize. It was my fault. I'm the one that made the mistake. You can accept that, or we can move to the next step. I don't want that to happen. I don't think you want that to happen. I think we should go our separate ways and just make the rest of our day good and not be mad about this, because it already happened. I'm really sorry. And I didn't mean to offend you. You look great. And I really want you to take my compliment, and let's just like part ways. And he was like, what the fuck? Like, all this shit. I was like, look, you're a lot older than me. I'm younger than you. I do not want this to escalate. You should walk away and accept my apology. And he like didn't want to do that. And then like, I think I just, like, he was still holding my arm for like quite some time, maybe not up to that point, but like, I'm not going to like fight some like 60-year-old man. You know what I mean? But like, if someone swings on me, like, you have to like defend your, like, I guess I could have just like run away, but like, I'm not going to like run away from something. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not going to like hit the dude first, but I definitely will like move out of the way and like grab the dude and be like, you're not doing this right now, kind of thing. I don't know. It didn't get to that point, but like, I don't know what I would have done, but I definitely was like, I think de-escalating all of those situations is like key. I think like cops are trained to de-escalate situations, and they don't. I mean, some don't, you know what I mean? Like, you can see, we've all seen the footage. Like, you had every opportunity to just not do what they did. Yeah. And they take every opportunity to escalate it and like poke at the person till that person gets mad. And then they have cause to like tackle them or arrest them or do whatever. I personally think that if you're trained to de-escalate things, I'm not trained, but I do everything possible in almost every situation to get out of it. But honestly, like there's some things you just can't get out of. Like that just happens. I mean, like maybe 3 weeks after that, same kind of thing happened. It was like this older black dude looked great, took a photo of him, and same kind of thing happened. He came up to me like right away, and I was just like, oh shit, sorry dude, you look great, like no disrespect, like I don't even know why I did it, I just thought you looked great, and I just like thought I'd snap a photo and keep walking. And he's like, you can't just do that. I was like, yeah, you're right, that was messed up, even though I don't believe that. I'm just like saying whatever just to make them feel good, not let them ruin their day, because that's not what I'm out there trying to do. I just like to like capture moments, you know. And he said like all this shit, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry, you're right, my bad, you know, like have a good rest of your day. And then I get like 10 feet away, he's like, yeah, bitch, keep walking. And I was like, I turned around immediately, go up to his face. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I apologize, we went our separate ways. You're gonna talk shit, now I'm in your fucking face, make a move. And he just like got so scared and backed down. And I don't like doing that, but like, dude, you wanted to act like you were fucking hard, like here we go, like now I'm in your face, what's up? And it's just like, okay, he didn't do anything. He got super scared. I was like, dude, you could have just left it. It was my bad. I apologized. I took full responsibility. It was, you called me on it. You had me, you know what I mean? But if you're going to like start talking shit as I walk away, that you were not doing when I was in, like, you were in my face, you were mad at me and you were expressing that, but you were in no way like talking shit or like trying to like escalate it, like to get physical, you know what I mean? Like just shit talking to like get a fight going. Yeah. You weren't doing that, but all of a sudden I walk away and all of a sudden you're a big man. Like, come on, dude. Like you can call people out, call me out for all my shit. Call me out like on whatever, you know what I mean? Like check people, that's fine. Cause I think good conversations come from that. You know what I mean? If you like, and that's only if people are like willing to hear the other person out. I think a lot of like social change is like coming from people starting to talk about shit that we kind of didn't talk about before. Yeah, call me out. That's fine. I might not agree with you. I'll probably always apologize and like meet you in the middle, or at least take something away from it where I'm like thinking about the other side that I wasn't maybe thinking before. But like, goddamn, if you want to start talking shit to younger people than you, like, I know you're old school, but like, fuck, man, like you can't be doing shit like that. I would never talk shit to like somebody bigger or badder than me, like ever. Cause you can get your ass kicked doing something like that. Like, I don't know what you would expect, but like, I'm not here to fight anybody. I do not like fighting. Every fight I've ever been in was literally self-defense. I did everything I possibly could to get out of it. But if someone's swinging on you, now you're in a fight, you know? So like it happens, whatever, but like, damn, definitely not looking for it. Definitely don't like it. I don't know. People are crazy though. People like, I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking. I only know what people are doing, because I'm watching them, but like, I don't know what they're thinking. I haven't gotten there yet.
You can kind of get a grasp though of what they're thinking, right? Or no?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like respect to like the old school dudes though. Like they had a harder life than we did. And like, they definitely like are still like talking shit in their old age. I'm down. Like that's sick. I hope I don't lose that like spunk, but like, I also would never talk shit to like a 30-year-old dude when I'm like 60. Yeah. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I probably wouldn't talk shit to a 20-year-old dude. 10 years is a long time to like feel pain. Like, I don't know. My back hurts now every now and then, you know, I feel it when I wake up, but yeah.
It's okay. You're full time now, right?
Yeah. I just do photo stuff.
How does that like, how did you make that shift? And how do you make your living?
My messenger company went out of business with like a week notice. And so then I just was like, oh, I guess I'm doing this now. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty scary, but I don't spend money on anything but photo shit, like film, but in processing and food. I think in the past I guess it's like it's a little over a year since I've been doing it full time. And in that year, I bought like 2 pairs of shoes and a hat. Other than that, it was like film, photo stuff.
Wow.
So like, I don't consume anything. It's just food and photo stuff. Like, I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink coffee. I don't smoke weed. Like, I feel like just those like 3 or 4 things right there will save you like $400 a month minimum.
Yep.
So like right there, like
so true.
I don't do any of that stuff. So like my overhead's pretty low on just my existence, but I definitely spend more than that a month on like film and like processing. I would say maybe not more, maybe about like $300 a month on like film and processing and stuff. But I scan everything myself to try to keep it cheaper. Mm-hmm. I mean, like it's as cheap as possible, but yeah, it's an expensive like career. Because I can't say hobby anymore or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but I still like basically only shoot film. Like I've used that 5D that I got like 4 times or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's nice to like have, but like I'm definitely not reaching for it if I have like my M7 or like T3 or whatever. But yeah. I don't know. I make it work. It's definitely scary, but my rent's cheap. Just like selling prints and zines and doing like little photo gigs like in between.
Okay.
Like,
is that something that you want to keep doing? Is like zine selling,
yeah,
or do you want to like move more into books or?
Yeah, I feel like my zines are a little bit nicer than most zines, but not as nice as some books. They're kind of like in the middle of like a very nice self-published thing. But yeah, I'm like working on 2 books right now. Can't really go into what they're about because I've never been this excited about like a body of work that I've ever done until now. But
oh, how cool.
I'm like done posting sneak stuff about like, I don't know, like half of the stuff in Mad World and like half the stuff in like Stay Strapped and half the stuff in what was Golden Went Gray. Those are like the 4 zines that I made in 2018. And I'd say like half of the content I had posted on like Instagram before. Maybe not half, like a little less than half. But now I'm trying to do like 100% unseen for this new book. Wow. I have like 2 new books, but like one I'm like really about, and I really want to like have like a proper solo show and like book release. And I don't want to show a single photo until the day of the opening. Maybe like the flyer will have a photo or something, but
can you like, is it on the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's very specific and it's, I think, fucking great. Like not like I'm great. Like I feel like what I'm onto is like a really great thing.
Whoa.
So yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I do not think that at all, but like I'm definitely super excited about it. And I don't know, I would say I'm like 100 rolls in or so. And so far I'm into it.
Damn. So when do you think that, like, how do you come to completion of a zine or a book or a project that you're working on? Something that you're focusing on, like, how do you just say, okay, I'm done, I'm like, it's publishing time, or like, do you just keep shooting it no matter what?
For me right now, I'm not done with any of the stuff I've already released. Like for me, like the whole Stay Strapped series, I'm always shooting it. And I think what I want to do is just keep doing little zines of it. Mm-hmm. And then once I do like 4 or 5 zines of it, I'll probably do like a book with like the best of almost, but like hardbound and like really pro and like,
okay.
That's kind of like my idea. Like the zines kind of fund it. And also I just like printing stuff, like getting stuff off of Instagram, like getting stuff off like our 3-inch screens. Cause even if you have a website or even if Like no one's looking at that on their like desktop or like computer or whatever they have. Like it's all on your phone. And I feel like photos do way more justice, like bigger. Like I like seeing physical photos like in galleries or in books.
Yeah.
I want people to feel the same way about my photos, or like, I don't know. I just like, that's why I'm always giving like little print packs away. Like they're just 4x6, but they're still like double the size of your phone screen. You can put them on your fridge. You can frame it if you want. You can give them to other people. You can put them in between a book as like a bookmark, you know, like something. It's cool. They're cheap. They're fun to give away. Like I really like doing that. I give those away. Like I usually give like a print pack away with like every zine. It's like a nice surprise, and I just like doing it just to get it out there and like off, like I said, off of the screen, just to, I don't know, everything's all digital, like all the articles we read. It's like good to like save paper and stuff, but it's also nice to like hold physical pieces of like work, or I don't know.
Yeah. I feel that. I mean, I work mostly just digital on my computer screen, and like when I actually print out on nice paper and a larger size, like there's, I don't know, it's just like a new feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Like
it's a lot different.
I was always into printing stuff, but when my uncle died in like February 2016 or 2017, sorry, we went through like family photos, like in between like his death and the funeral, like that week, we were just like looking for photos of him. And like right around 2005, 2006 or so, like all of our family photos kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Because we have like shoe boxes of like those like Walgreens envelopes, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And we didn't stop taking photos, but they all went digital, and now they're on some hard drive, and we've never looked at them since.
Yeah.
And like, I remember growing up, my mom had like this Pentax point and shoot. I still have it. It's in my closet. That same one. And she would drop off like rolls at Walgreens or CVS or wherever. I don't even like, just the pharmacy type Costco things, and like doubles, you know what I mean? Just get doubles of everything. And that feeling of like going through all those family photos, some of them weren't even of him, but it was just the shoebox. And we were all really, really close. Like him and my mom were brother and sister, but they were like best friends. And he was almost like a dad to me more than like an uncle. And so he was in like tons of family photos. He was like around, I'm in his photos, you know what I mean? It was like very tight knit. Lived like basically like down the street from each other. So it wasn't like he lived in Michigan and we only saw each other like once every year or two. It wasn't like that at all. So like seeing all those family photos, like physical, and how they were filmed originally, like they were physical from the beginning, you know what I mean? From a negative, like digital is great for some people. I don't dislike people that shoot digital. I don't dislike digital photos. Just for me, I don't get anything out of it. It's not how I like to work. And I don't like how it remains digital. Like, I don't know, most people that shoot digital rarely print. And that's fine, but I would encourage people to print something. I just use like Shutterfly. I know it's stupid, but like it's so easy. Like you just like get a bunch of 4x6s made. They're like 15 cents, 10 cents each or something.
Oh, wow.
And they always have like discount deals. Like
how long does it take?
That's like a week.
That's not bad.
And if you're not in a rush, like what's the difference? You know, it's like you just select a few photos, you just drop them in, and then however many you want. So if I like have like 5 photos that I want printed and I want to make like little print packs, I just select those 5 photos and then just do like 30 of each. And then I have 30 print packs of like 5 photos each or whatever. That's usually how I do it. And then I'll put them up for like $5 or something. And that's pretty cheap, like $1 a photo. And I'm not like making money off it, because after you pay for shipping and all that stuff, but it's like you basically pay for the materials. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't cost you anything. So that's why I usually like give them away for free or like a couple bucks. Like I'll give them away free with zines, and then I'll probably like charge like $2 or $5 or something once, just on their own, just because shipping, and like I give them in like a little sleeve, and those cost money, and the photos themselves cost money. But yeah, like going through those family photos like sealed the deal for me like a few years ago. Like I was already, like I said, I was already printing I was printing photos, but like not that, like, not like that. And like that made it like, yeah. I was, after seeing that and experience that whole thing, I was like, all right, printing photos way more often.
Yeah.
But I'm also like shooting a lot to like print, like family photos. Like when my mom was like shooting photos or whatever, she wasn't shooting photos like street photographers are shooting photos. Like out of every roll, maybe one photo is good or something, you know, like. So, I mean, if I was going to Walgreens now getting like doubles of everything, I mean, it would be a total waste. So it's nice to like select the photos I'm printing while still maintaining that tradition, but not like just printing it all.
Right. So that is something that I want to ask, like one photo out of a whole roll may be good. What is kind of like your ratio? Is it like one photo out of a roll is usable? Or because I mean I look at your Instagram and like what you just showed me on your computer, like all your like highlight photos, and like, I'm like, wow, these are all amazing. Like everything that you take is probably amazing. But like what is that true? Like
it depends on the roll. Like there's a few rolls I've shot where I've gotten like 8 good photos on that roll.
Okay.
That's kind of nuts if you think about it. Like 8 photos on like a roll of 36. Or I mean, you might get 37 out of it, but you know what I mean? Like whatevs. That's pretty damn good. And then I've gotten a whole roll where it's like garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. That's like a great question. And I'm the one who kind of like initiated it, like with that comment. And it's definitely something I think about. But what I really try to do is have one good photo every day I go out and shoot.
Okay.
I don't care about like the rolls I don't keep track of that, because like if I was in the business of like keeping track of like how many rolls I'm shooting, like how much is this going to cost me? Like I'm in the wrong line of work or whatever. So I don't really think about it, but like there will be days where I'll go out, I'll shoot 6 rolls. There'll be days I'll shoot a roll. Like every day is different, and you never know like what the streets are going to like give you. Some days it's just like, you're just firing, like it's all there and you're just like shooting. And then there will be a day where you're like kind of bummed, or like I'm kind of bummed, and I'm just like, man, this is kind of boring. Like there's nothing really happening. This is like pretty uneventful. And then there will be something on that roll I'll get back where I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't really think much of it, but that's pretty funny. Or like that came out pretty good. But I just try to take like have one keeper per day. And if you go out like 200 days a year, at the end of the year, you have 200 good photos. I just think of it in those terms. I feel like that's like mentally better, because then I won't feel as bad if I like, I don't know, if I don't have anything good at the end of the day or something. I don't know. Like that's just how I try to do it, or like keep it in that line, because not every day is going to be great, but yeah.
Do you remember like the greatest day that you ever had out there?
Yeah, but it's for my new book, so I can't go
Damn
into
you.
it.
Okay, second greatest day.
But I hate not answering questions like that, because I like remember when like Tom DeLonge, the dude from Blink-182, was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and like every question Joe asked him about aliens, he's like, I can't get into that. And I'm just watching this like, dude, you're not answering anything. Why are we listening to you? So I'm not trying to be like that. But yeah, there was like one day where I was like, this is great. I got like 20 good photos in one day. Maybe not 20, like 5, but you know what I mean? Like it was like, I was definitely into it. But like, I don't know. There's been a few days when I was a messenger where something crazy happened, like that riot photo of the dude smashing the window. So that was May 1st, 2012. That was like that whole May Day protest. I think it was kind of around the time like Occupy Wall Street was like happening, and like people were engaging in politics again for the first time in a while. I guess that's because it was like a new presidential cycle. I guess every 4 years people engage. That's what we do. I don't know. I was rolling my eyes there for you people that are listening to this. Like, So yeah, 2000, that was like May 1st, 2012 when I took that like riot photo. And that was a pretty crazy day. And like I fucked up. And the day before that, I have like a little bag of film that I always have on me. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't in my messenger bag for work the next day. I think I like took it out the day before. And so I had one roll in my like Contax T3, and I always had it on my strap as a messenger. I had like a little pouch for my contacts and then like a little holder for my radio because we used like Nextel radios. And I think I was on like frame 20. So I had 16 photos for the day. And I took like 3 photos of like maybe even more of just that one smashing the window scene. And I just was like trying to like not shoot all of it.
Right.
Like I was really trying to just like find good photos. And I thought that this was going to be a crazy day. I could have like ridden out to this film spot, but I didn't have any deliveries going there yet. And this was all just kind of happening while I was working. And I just like saved a bunch of photos. And then it ended up like nothing really happening. Like the cops came. The cops weren't there at that time. So when the cops came, they kind of like secured like the business establishments, and they just kind of let the squad like go down the middle of the street and say what they wanted to say. But they were definitely like protecting property after that whole display on like American Apparel and Nike Town and stuff, which was like right on the corner of 6th and Pike, like downtown Seattle. And that kind of got like a famous little like snippet of news for the day, was like that scene that I was like right there for. And it wasn't like a thing, like nothing happened before that really. It was kind of just like a chill little like demonstration protest down the street. And then it all just kind of ignited for like 10 minutes. And then it kind of like went back to being chill. But I didn't know that, so I was just saving the film. I wish I would have shot more. I wish I would have just shot that whole roll right then, but I only got like 5 photos of like a few blocks of it. But usually now I try to at least have 5 or 6 rolls on me at all times.
Wow.
Like at all times, no matter what. Like if I'm going to the grocery store, like I have like a little film holder that's like in my pocket. Because you never know. Like what if I go to the grocery store and then like the block starts on fire?
Yeah.
But I'd like only have half a roll in my camera, and that's the only camera I have, and I don't have anything on me.
That's super true. I think about that. Like I always want to bring my camera because like what if an earthquake happens, or like what if,
that's
and
definitely
I'm
something I think about too.
Like
earthquakes, that could happen any moment. Like
and I'm like the only thing that I would want to be doing is like taking photos.
For sure.
That's it. Like I could have a broken leg and I would still be the last one in San Francisco, like taking photos.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's like part of it. I mean, yeah, like I said fire, but yeah, that's like part of it. Earthquake, whatever. You never know. I mean, there was that giant explosion like on Geary like
I just
2 days
went past
ago.
it. Yeah.
So it's like, you never know. I just don't leave my house without my camera, and I don't leave my house without film. And that May Day that I was just talking about, that was a learning experience. That was the last day I ever did that.
Wow.
So like, I'm happy it happened. And I don't know, like, since if I've ever needed all my film, but like, yeah, there's actually been one time where I had 6 rolls and I shot all 6.
What?
Yeah. New book. Can't talk about it.
Damn you.
That was the good day. That was the day I was talking about. It was just like the day that everything like unfolded in the most perfect way. The whole
when
day.
is this book coming out then?
I don't even know when I'll stop shooting it. Like, it's not even close to being done.
Damn.
So like at least another year.
So what is the volume? Or like,
I don't even know what I want to do with it yet. I'm just shooting the hell out of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's how I roll now. Just film all the time. I mean, you never know. I mean, the 89 earthquake type shit, that could happen again at any moment. Like just to like up near Redding, up north, I think that's like 3 hours north or so. They had like 4 earthquakes the other day.
What?
Yeah. In like one in like 24-hour period or like 48-hour period, I think there was like 5 or 6 earthquakes.
Like big ones or what?
Like 4-point whatevers. But
4 of those. Wow.
I mean, it's active, you know, it could happen. Like, I don't know. I don't like wish it. I don't want my shit getting destroyed. I don't want people getting hurt.
Right.
But if it does happen, I want to be prepared. And like, that's part of being prepared, you know, like I feel like there's like that saying, like luck is when like preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're out there with a camera, but you're not prepared and you don't know like your shit, you're not going to get lucky. Like no photo is luck, but like sometimes you get lucky, if that makes sense. Like the dude pushing the coffin, like I could have never dreamt of that. You know what I'm saying? Like a dude just pushing a coffin down the street. I never in a million years would have thought about that until I saw it. And then I saw it and I was like, holy shit, took a photo of it. But if I didn't have my camera on me, what am I going to do? Oh, can you wait here, sir? I'm going to go home and get a camera. You know, you're not going to do that. You would have blown that photo. And that photo, I'm still stoked on every time I see it. Like that's one of my favorite photos that like I've ever taken. And if someone else took that shit, I'd be mad jealous. Like that's how I know like when there's like a good photo like that I like. If I saw someone else take it and I was like jealous of it. And I'm not a jealous person, but there's photos that other people have shot that I was like, fuck, that's a sick photo. I wish I took that. But that's kind of how like I judge art or like photos that I would like if a painting, if you like have to have it, like you shouldn't care about the artist or the value. I mean, not that I have money or we have money for like expensive pieces of art, but I feel like that's really like, that's what they tell you should judge art by, is like if you like can't live without it kind of thing. And when I look at work, like, yeah, I mean, there's great painters and great photographers or great artists that like you should know their body of work, or you should kind of like pay attention to like their statement or like what they're going for. But I feel like there's a lot of work out there from just no-name people that's like super great too, that if you like it, then I don't know, should pay it respect in some way, whether it's like just being jealous that they created it or work towards creating something yourself that's just as good or whatever. But I feel like that's like the modern art like excuse, is like when some modern artist does something like, I could have done that, I could have painted that. It's like, but you didn't. So there you go. Like I like a lot of modern art stuff that most people would hate. Like I love Jeff Koons' work. Like he has like vacuum cleaners and an acrylic light up display. It's just a vacuum cleaner. Shit's amazing. I don't know why. I don't care that it's $1 billion sculpture or whatever the hell it is. It's like $1 million or something. Like I don't care. Something about that shit is sick because it kind of pisses people off. Like, I could have done that. I could have put a basketball in a fish tank.
Then why didn't you?
Exactly. I don't know. There's a lot of like amazing painters out there that I think are the shit that I kind of find more inspiration from than like photography, but I do like photography. Yeah.
Do you kind of want to dabble in other mediums, or is photography like it? Because I feel like you would be.
I have so many ideas and like sketches and like notes and stuff of like paintings or like pieces of art that I like want to get made and stuff, but I just don't like have the money for it.
Have you ever thought about like cinema film?
Yeah, I mean, I've made like short films and stuff.
Okay.
But like 2 or 3 or something, but one of them was like all Super 8, keeping the film alive. Stupid expensive for like what I got out of it.
It's like, but it's like $80, $90 per roll.
I mean, maybe I did it in 2010 or so.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what it is now.
I did it last year. It was like,
okay. I just shot 4 rolls of Super 8. So I'll let you know how much it is.
Jesus Christ. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm not doing it for a while. It's like in my fridge now, but we'll see how much it costs.
Okay. So yeah, we got about like 5 more minutes, but to people who like really admire you, right? So like beginners or people who want to get into street photography, like what would be advice that you would give them starting out? Or what was something that you learned that was super useful and helpful for you?
No one like told me anything. I kind of just did it to do it. I kind of found it on accident. Like I started doing it before Instagram. I feel like you should do it for yourself. Like don't shoot just for the gram. Like I feel like just do the photos you want and put them up if you want to, but like that shouldn't like define why you do it. Like if Instagram went away tomorrow, I would still shoot. I don't know if I can say that for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, not that I've been doing this forever and not that I'm like original in any way, shape or form, but like I found it on my own. And that's like something I like found out later on that I really, really liked. Like I found it before the internet, and most like 30-year-old people can't say that, I think. So like I got lucky and found it on accident, but yeah, I would just shoot the hell out of whatever you want to shoot and get out there and try new stuff. And I don't know, maybe you hold on to stuff for a while and don't just like run to put it on the internet. I mean, I kind of came from like skateboarding. And so I remember skate videos being like a really big deal. And when they dropped, it was everything about it was a big deal. It wasn't just the tricks. It was like the editing and like the songs that they chose with the video part are like, that's how I found out about my favorite bands that I still listen to this day, is because of skate videos. And like just that, like learning about that was super important, I think, is like holding on to something until it's done rather than like putting it out little by little. Cause like someone's part ender was a big deal. And if that like leaked, or if someone, like I remember skateboarders keeping it secret. Like they checked each other on it. Like no one tell anyone about who did what down this set of stairs. Only the people that were there witnessed it. No one put it on like Instagram stories or any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm all about Instagram. Don't get me wrong. Like I post Instagram stories all the time. I post Instagram videos of photos I've taken that still haven't ever been posted. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm about it. I'm not trying to like hate on it too much, but like, I just think people run to the internet every fucking chance they get to put their like best photo up. And like everything on my Instagram, I think the newest photo I've posted is like 9 months old. And most of the photos I post are like 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
Or older. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a negative way of looking at it or a positive thing or inspiring, but like that's what I would say to do, is like do it because you actually love it and don't like try to be cool on the internet. Like that's not why I do it. If you like my stuff, I'm really happy you do. I'm not trying to be cool. I just like do it. I think it's interesting. If you find it interesting too, then like, yay, we have something in common, and we can like talk about it. But I don't know. Like, does that make sense to you? Like, do you know what I'm getting at?
I was just having a conversation this morning with a friend that kind of threw me into not a crisis, but he was saying like he got a bad comment on his artwork, right? He's an actor and he got a bad note on a piece that he did. And he said that sent him into a spiral, right? And he says when he gets good comments, good notes on his acting, like it makes him feel great. And obviously, right? So he brought up to me, like, he's kind of wondering, is he doing this for the ego or for himself? And that kind of made me think, like, am I doing everything for an ego, because I'm kind of good at what I do and, you know, people pay me compliments and respects off of it? Like, am I doing it because of that or because I actually really love it?
Yeah.
But it brings me back to a point where it's like, I do think about like what gives me energy, and that's taking photos, doing videos. Like I become a better part of myself.
Yeah.
And that's also a reason why I can't do street photography. Like I just have too much energy.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, to me, like Instagram just adds to photography, but it shouldn't be like your photography. Like to me, it's like, and other people, like think of all the people that we all look up to. They did that shit before the internet.
True.
You know what I mean? Like they survived, they created great bodies of work. They didn't need to like show people immediately. Like imagine shooting like a book for 10 years or like the whatever's in the book for 10 years without ever showing anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can live for a year or two. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I think it's important to do. I think it's important to slow down. I think it's important to like hold on to your work until it's ready. I think forcing it, I don't ever want to post a photo on the internet and then think of like 2 years later, like, fuck, that would have been perfect for this thing. But now everyone's seen it and the surprise is gone.
Right.
But
do you believe in deadlines though? Like, do you believe in like, all right, I got to have this project due by, or I want this project due, because that's how I am. I'm like, okay,
no,
I got to keep myself accountable and like work. Because if I don't have deadlines, I push it off. But also you work differently
yeah,
than I
but
do.
street's different though. I totally agree. Like, I can see that being a thing for some people, but like the streets, like it only is out there. Like what the streets give you is what you have. Like you can't rush it. You can't like make someone do something that's photographable.
Mm-hmm.
So like you just have to put in a ridiculous amount of time. And then once you need to like overshoot. You don't want to put in something that's like subpar just to like make a book. I'd rather shoot like 500 rolls of this book than shoot 100 and just pick from 100 and like have something weak in there. I'd rather like take photos that I think are great out rather than put photos I don't think are that great in. But also like that's me. I don't know. I don't know what other people are hanging on to, but I know like from experience that a lot of people that I've talked to do not hang on to a single photo and they run to the internet every time they scan in a good photo or put edit a good photo digitally or something. That's fine. That's not how I like to roll, but
no, but what you're saying is valuable. Really good.
Thanks. Yeah. I don't know. That's just how I've done it. That's kind of how I started doing it. I don't know. I think like the internet is so new. It's like 9 years old. Like for what we really use, like I got Instagram in 2011, like late 2011.
Yeah.
Like 8 years ago. What? 8 years? I mean, it's a good 8 years. Like I've met some amazing people through like Flickr and Instagram and like friends and stuff like that I talk to all the time. There's people on Instagram that I've never talked or I've never met in real life, but we like chat every now and then. And like, I feel like we get each other and have more in common than people that I see on a regular basis. Like I'm not trying to hate on it too much. I just want people to like slow it down and like think about what they're doing and like do it for the right reasons. And I don't know. It's like, I feel like we don't know what we're doing yet, like with the internet, and it's kind of insane. I think there's so much data coming in that's like pretty mind blowing that we should slow shit down for a minute and like really figure out like what we're doing on this thing. But I'm not trying to be like Vivian Meyer and I'm not trying to be dead and then everyone discover my shit. So we'll see what happens. But like, I definitely like will do something with it soon, but I would rather not die and have people discover it after. So we'll see. I think there's an in-between. I don't want to end up like Vivian Meyer, but I don't want to run to the internet every time I take a cool photo.
Yeah.
Do you know who Vivian Meyer is?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
I basically invented her. No. But I learned about her before like the movie came out and did I? Yeah.
I did and forgot. Like she was like a huge threat on Flickr. Like the dude who made that video for Netflix or not for Netflix, but it was on Netflix forever. It was
like on the Netflix that you had to get delivered.
John Maloof or something like that. And he posted like a thing on Flickr in like 2009, maybe even earlier than that. And it basically was like, hey, I found these photos. Like, are they any good? And everyone was kind of like, whoa, like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. And then a bunch of other people were like, do not shoot those with a flash. Like, I forget. This is all from memory. So if I'm wrong and you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. Something about that thread, I think he was shooting photos in a bathtub with a flash. of the negative or something, but I think it was like still developing or something. I forget. I don't remember someone like lost their shit. Like, I mean, people are always losing their shit on the internet, but this was like before all that. Like, I think he was like shooting photos with a flash with some film that was like sensitive. I forget. Oh. And I remember that about it. Oh, also. Man. And then I totally forgot about it. Like they were on like a photo blog, which I think he like talks about in that movie. It's been like 2 years since I've seen the movie. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, Finding Vivian Maier, that's what we're talking about. It's amazing. But he goes to all those museums and tries to get it in, and they all kind of just like, nah. And I remember seeing like maybe like the MoMA posted about it before they showed it. They just like saying this newly discovered work or something. I think I remember that maybe like 8 or 9 years ago or something, like 2010. The dates, like, again, they might be wrong, but I feel like I remember seeing something about it before Netflix a year or two ago. But yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I don't know. We can, if you think of stuff later, we can do another one. I don't know, but I think.
Yeah. Is that good? Too far. Yeah. Where can we find you?
My Instagram is just my name with a underscore, just JAKE_RICKER. And then I have a website that I built once and I never looked at again. It's just myname.com.
myname.com.
You can, not literally myname.com, but just jakericker.com. And I think that's it.
Staying strapped.
Yeah, I guess there's the other Instagram, like staying strapped. I think it's staying.strapped. I think if you find it, if you search that, it might come up. Mm-hmm. But that's just all those people that don't know how to wear a backpack that other people have sent in. I post some of my photos there, but a lot of it is like a collaboration with people that can't unsee the curse.
The curse that is horrible backpack placement.
Yeah. I like forgot that I made that. Like, I know that I did, but I wouldn't have like suggested people seeking that out. So thanks for remembering. It's been like 2 weeks or like maybe even more since I've posted to it. I've been so damn busy, but I'll start posting on it again. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I think it has like 500 followers or something on it, which is like, that's like more than I ever thought it would. I thought it'd be like 20 people. But yeah, it's kind of funny. It's just a bunch of people that don't know how to wear a backpack. I think that's about it.
And you're talking at Apple tomorrow.
Oh yeah, but I don't think this will be out yet.
No, it won't be out tomorrow.
I am talking at Apple tomorrow.
January 9th. Wait, no, February 9th. 2019.
At 2 p.m., but you'll hear this after. So yeah. I'm going to try to get it on YouTube. And maybe the link will be on the description of this podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I can do that.
We'll see. So maybe I'll try to film it. We're not 100% sure. Sweet. So look in the description of this podcast for a YouTube link. And if there is one, then what I just said came to light.
Well, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm happy people do.
Okay, wait, really quick.
I mean, you could even edit this in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. We can just keep talking then.
So, like, what is one thing that you do struggle with in your work or with yourself or your life or just to have people get a better understanding of, like, who you are, where you're coming from? Yeah.
I don't struggle with a lot. I guess financially is like the thing. Like there's not, you know what, the thing. Yeah. I mean, out and about, I don't really struggle with much. I just kind of do me and like whatever happens, happens. And I'm not really like freaking out internally. Like I don't have a lot of internal conflict. Like
have you always been like that?
Kinda. Yeah. I would say not even kind of. Yes. I've always been like that. From when I can remember, I've like known myself. Like I've known exactly like what I wanted to be and how I wanted to be. I've never questioned it at all. Like from an early age, I was like, smoking cigarettes and like drugs are kind of dumb. I don't want to do that. Never done it. Not straight edge. Wasn't even into hardcore music or any of that shit. I just was like, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like it's for me. You know, like that saying, like, some things aren't for everyone. Well, some things aren't for everyone. And I knew it wasn't for me. So I just didn't want to like dabble with like a thing that like I knew wasn't going to like ever satisfy me and I didn't need. So like from an early age, there's so many things I could like mention that I just knew without like having to experience that, like that I just didn't want to do that, or I didn't want to be like that, or I didn't want to experience that. And I don't know, like,
that's so nice. I've had to learn so much from experience, and it is not.
And I'm not in
fun.
any way, shape, or form like saying that in like a cocky way. Like, I'm just like a guy. I don't think I'm great. I'm not like sitting here in like my room at night like, I'm fucking so sick. The world thinks I'm so fucking sick. Like, that is not it at all. Like, I'm just like happy with what I've been able to shoot and what I've been able to capture. I'm just trying to like see how far I can go with it. I just like, I kind of what I started to say and then backtrack. Like, I just struggle like financially, like financial freedom of like being able to like go to Europe and shoot other streets.
Yeah.
I guess like that's what I struggle with the most. But as far as like this like internal conflict of like, should I do this or should I not do that? Or like, should I show this piece of work? Is this photo good? I really don't struggle with those things. It's always nice to like check in with someone. Like I showed you like that whole Apple talk. And like we talked about some stuff. I took like 5 things out. I in no way, shape, or form was like, fuck, like he doesn't like those, or like, oh, I want those, or I wish people like you saw me. I was like, oh, they're gone. Like I do not care at all about like criticism or comments like on Instagram. Like if people like it, I'm so happy. If you don't like it, I'm happy because I did it to do it. I didn't do it for any other reason. I just found it interesting. I saw something there and I just thought someone might feel the same way. They might think it's interesting or funny or like crazy. I mean, I kind of just look for stuff that doesn't happen all the time. Like, oh shit, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Take a photo of it. I mean, I guess like people have given me shit. Not even really, like a couple people. It's actually been like pretty good response. Like I know people get a lot of shit for like taking photos of homeless people, but I think if you do it in the right way, like people can't really say shit. And I think I've done it in the right way. Like I'm not just sitting there taking photos of like sleeping homeless people.
Have you done that before and then been like, I don't like that? Or because I have done that before and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. I've done it
if there was something there.
Yeah.
Like I have a photo of a lady that like a homeless lady, or maybe not even homeless, but just like an addict or something that like got drunk and fell and she like cut her eyebrow open, but was like sleeping on a bench with like a bloody eyebrow. Like I took that photo because it was like she was bleeding. She wasn't like dying. She was like fine. It was barely any blood, but it was like a little split. And I don't know. I mean, I have those kinds of photos, but I know my intent and like I just think it's interesting. What's not interesting is like a business person that has a nice apartment looking at their phone as they walk down the street. That does nothing for me. That does nothing for anyone else. They're not that interesting. They don't have an interesting life. They don't have any interesting stories that I can think of just by looking at them. But when I look at someone who's like kind of a little crazy, might have like a pretty bad habit or like a pretty crazy living situation, you can tell by looking at them that every wrinkle on their face has a story. Like and I don't need to hear about it. I don't want to really talk. Like I just know. And I think other people know that like that person's lived a crazy life. They've lived more, like they've forgotten more than I'll ever know. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of where I come from when I take photos of like crazier people. But I don't know. It's like definitely not in any way like poking fun at their situation because I'm thankful I'm not in that situation. But at the same time, I've also made steps and like had a ton of discipline to like not get me in that situation. Like, I've been around every fucking drug. I've been around crazy shit. I've almost been shot and stabbed multiple times.
Oh my God.
Been around very crazy things, very crazy events. Like, there's no reason why, like, I couldn't be in a situation like that. But, like, I've definitely tried really, really hard to, like, not be. Not that they haven't. I've just, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that, like, have never been tested that act like, oh, I would never do that. But it's like, you don't know. Like, you've never been put to the test. Like, you don't know what you would have done until you've done it.
True.
But I don't know if that makes sense. But, like, there's just, like, crazy things that have happened. And I've been lucky enough to, like, witness it and, like, change or come out the other side of going, like, oh, fuck, that was a pretty crazy thing. Like, I've been in, like, a robbery before.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you were robbing?
I was at Wendy's when I was a kid, and these people robbed Wendy's at gunpoint, and we all, like, had to go on the ground. Like, like in the movies, like a bank robbery and shit. It was like that, but at Wendy's.
Oh, my God.
But we were... Yeah, it was just, like, a weird... Like, that's a whole other thing, but I'm just saying, like, I've had a gun pointed on my head before. Not a lot of people can say that. And I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm so fucking cool. Like, oh, that shit's happened to me. I'm just saying, like, no one knows what they'll do in a situation like that until it fucking happens to them. And, like, it's happened multiple times in my life. I have photos of a dude that's, like, got shot point blank 6 times in the chest, like 20 feet from me. It was at night, so the photo kind of sucks because I didn't use a flash and it's pretty blurry, but, like, that happened.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It was at 24th and Folsom at, like, 9 or like 10 p.m. on like a Thursday.
Were you taking pictures of this guy getting shot?
No, I was riding by and I heard some yelling and I like look over and this dude got shot like point blank in the chest.
Oh, so he's like on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know these people at all.
Oh,
and then like, yeah. But yeah, he's on the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't taking photos of it happening. It was just like I happened to be there. So I like took a photo of it because it happened. But it's just kind of like my thing. Like, I don't cause it and I don't like add to it. I just take the photo and like keep moving. But yeah, that happened. He died. Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't struggle, I guess. But I mean, like, we kind of talked about it when I was showing you those photos. Like, I took multiple photos of me with like life-threatening injuries getting like loaded into an ambulance from getting hit by a car. And that car was going like 45 miles an hour when I got hit on my bike. Like, went into the windshield, shattered that, and went flying like 30 feet. Wasn't wearing a helmet, broke my leg, cut up my hand when it went through the windshield. And like, I shot photos of that. Like, I mean, you saw that. So there's a photo of me like in the street with a dude running to help me, fire department showing up, me getting loaded into the ambulance. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, really? You're going to take a photo of like someone at their worst moment? Like, that person's dying. It's like, yep, but I took a photo of me at my worst moment. So treat others the way you want to be treated. I mean, I did it. Most people wouldn't do that. So most people feel that way. Yeah. I don't feel that way. And I did it before that dude got shot. So like, I knew what I was getting myself into. Literally, when that happened, all I could think of is like, I need to take a photo of this. Yeah. Like, when that dude got stabbed in the throat, all I could think of is I have to take a photo of this. So I did.
Do you feel like taking photos of it also disconnects you from the feelings that may be there if you didn't have your camera? So let's say like you didn't have your camera, like, would you be in those feelings more after you got hit by the car or you saw that guy got stabbed in the throat? Like,
no, I'd be pissed I didn't have my camera on me to take a photo.
Okay. So you just have no feelings?
I mean,
I'm kidding.
No. I mean, that's real. I would say I have little feelings about like things that happen that are out of my control. I think way too many people care about shit that's out of their control and like invest way too much time in shit that they can't change. I can't change that. I did not cause that to happen. I couldn't help him. He was getting help. You know what I mean? Like if it was just me or him, I would have like helped him out. I wouldn't have like taken photos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but there was other people there attending to that person.
Okay.
That like he was getting all the help he possibly could have in that moment. But so I took photos of it. I was also involved in a fatal car accident in 2007 in Hawaii. I had cameras on me then, but I didn't use them. Mm-hmm. And like, that was gnarly. And that dude died as I was like pulling him out of the car. But like I said, I didn't take photos of that because it was just like me and that person.
Wow.
And that was like on the way to breakfast with like my family. That was fucking crazy. That was on Maui. And then like the magic of like the internet and Flickr and Instagram following that was what I did do was I took a photo of the newspaper the next morning that he was on the cover of in Maui, like the main, like basically like the daily newspaper. Is the Chronicle every day?
I don't know.
It was like something like that. I think the Chronicle is every day, but it was like their main Maui newspaper. That accident was on the cover. And so I posted a photo or like a scan of the newspaper clip. And then on my Flickr, I wrote what happened and how I was there and what I witnessed and like everything that happened. And his two cousins like hit me up on Flickr through Googling his name. That Flickr post showed up on like Google search.
Wow.
And the cops, I guess, didn't tell them much about what happened or what anything really, from what I understand. And they reached out to me with like questions and I just answered everything like the best I could. And like I met them the next time I was in Maui and now we're like friends on Instagram and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I've given them like prints and stuff, not of like anything like brutal, but like just photos they've liked of mine. Like I have. And he was an only child. I've never spoken with his aunt, like, or
the wife?
His mom.
Oh, his mom.
But his cousins and his aunt I've like talked to, and like his cousins I'm like still friends with on the internet and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So like, I mean, that's like an example of like the internet being like a good thing from like a gnarly thing that like, I've definitely been there in gnarly situations like that, but that was like a positive thing that happened. And I've like stayed in touch. I see their posts on Instagram all the time. And we're like totally different people. Like they're not industry photography at all. You know what I mean? But like they have like kids and stuff. I don't have any kids, you know, like we're like totally different, but we have this like common accident that happened that they weren't even a part of.
Wow.
That I wasn't trying to like initiate a friendship or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't put it on Flickr for any reason other than like this happened, but I didn't have a camera on me. Kind of like what we started talking about. Like, would I have shot those photos? I wasn't into street photography like the way I am now then, but I did shoot like almost everything that I was doing back then in like a weird way. I don't know. But yeah, that's like an example of me like not taking a photo and like helping when I thought I could have, but there was nothing I could have done. Like the accident was like really, really horrible.
Wow.
And he was like basically dead as I was getting to him, but I was just trying to get him out of his truck, but it was like too smashed to where like I couldn't even get to him. And then like at that, like a minute later, a couple other people came up and got out of their cars. Cause it's Maui. It's not like traffic. You know what I mean? Like this was like just on a road it's not in the middle of nowhere, but it's not like city traffic. So like it took a couple minutes for other people to like start showing up. And so like once a doctor showed up, I was like, I just walked away. And as I was walking back to the car, there was like a coin on the ground and I just grabbed a coin and I still have it.
What?
Yeah. It like came from his car or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Cause like everything got smashed. So I think that was just like in like the cup holder or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, me being me, like, do you feel like energy from this coin or no?
No, I mean, I haven't thought about it until I just was telling that story. Like, I know I still have it, but like, I don't know. It's crazy, like what your mind can like pull from files.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think about that ever. And then when you're like thinking of it, you're just like pulling that file out.
Yep.
That's like the craziest thing to me is like how the human mind, like memory, and how it's like this hard drive, but it's like not this like physical thing. But we do have folders, and we do pull from like this date, and then you like pull up that memory, and then you're like it's like.
See, that's so funny. I smelt a smell of like the specific coffee yesterday. That reminded me of my 4th grade. Like somebody would drive me to school every morning, and she had 8 kids, and she would always have like a mug of coffee while she was driving us to school. And like it just smelled so bad, but it was coffee.
Yeah.
And the woman's coffee reminded me of that smell yesterday. And like all of a sudden, all these like memories of driving to school in 4th and 5th grade like came rushing back to me. And like all these little vivid memories of like all that just because of the cup of coffee smell. But it's such a distinct smell of coffee. Yeah.
I mean, little things happen like that all the time. And then it like hits you like a wave of memories. You're just like, holy shit, like this, and this. Super bizarre. I think like I know nothing about like psychology and like medical terms of like the mind and the brain and stuff, but I actually think about that stuff a lot. And like I think that's like one of the craziest things that like we as people have, like just the memories and just pulling from whatever. And you can also like purposely think about a memory. Like you could think of like, what was the craziest thing that happened to me in 4th grade? And then you're just like thinking of it. Or you can like purposefully like think of like your first kiss or whatever, but you would never think of it until you're like purposely trying to like find that memory, or when someone brings up something, or even a song. Like when I think of songs now, sometimes I think of like the skate video that it was in. And then I can like think of the tricks and like the style and like what that person was wearing and shit, depending on like when the video came out. Like
I miss those skate videos, by the way.
Yeah. I still have a whole box of like a bunch of VHS tapes and stuff, but I don't have like a TV or a VHS player, but I still have all of it.
Wow.
I mean, you can find all that stuff on like the internet now. Like every video part ever is on YouTube. You know, you can literally just search like Andrew Reynolds, The End, Birdhouse, and it'll be there, you know? So it's like, you technically don't need all those videotapes, but like something about like Alien Workshop photosynthesis with like the orange plastic VHS tape. I still have it, and that shit's the sickest. It's like it's orange, like an orange plastic videotape rather than just black. Yeah. It's like orange plastic, like bright, like car wash sign, like neon orange.
I think the Rugrats movie had that.
Oh, okay.
It's like orange or like bright turquoise.
Yeah. I think the new GX1000 video, like that just came out, they like did a run of like 15 different colors of videotape.
What?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I think you can get like white and black and like orange or some other color. I don't know. There's like little things like that I actually like, and those like bring up memories and stuff. Like Alien Workshop was my first skateboard, which at the time I didn't really know that was cool. Like my dad just got me one. I think as like a kid, I liked aliens or something. And he's like, oh, this one. And then once you like find out more about the company and like the riders that have ridden for them and the videos that they've done, there's some of the like the most artistic videos with like an actual like direction and stuff.
Wait, it's skateboarding?
Yeah, like Alien Workshop.
I didn't.
So they're from Ohio.
Okay.
And Harmony Corinne was obsessed with Alien Workshop, like when he was a kid. Like he wrote Kids and Gummo and all that shit. And so he filmed Gummo in the city that Alien Workshop is from, because when he was a kid, he bought something from Alien Workshop and it said like something Ohio or whatever. And so he like made it take place there. I think they actually filmed it somewhere else, but it was supposed to take place there because of Alien Workshop. Like little things like that. Like I found out later on, I'm like, oh shit. Like I liked it because I liked it, but I didn't know that it was like this thing that was like this underground artistic, like accepted art form of like a company. Like, you know how each company has like certain themes or vibes that like Baker was like, oh, the drunk, piss drunk dudes or whatever, like party punk skater dudes. And then there was like Girl was like kind of cleaner cut, really good, like clean technical skateboarders. And I don't even, you know what I mean? There was just like these
that was
vibes.
so cool. I mean, it's still around today, right? But I mean, it's so cool to think about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And like Toy Machine, like Ed Templeton always had really sick riders that like he was the first one to ever turn a female pro. But I don't think he just did it because it made sense. He wasn't like trying to be progressive or trying to be like this thing that's now super accepted. He just like knew himself before it was like cool and just did it because I think it made sense. And like he sponsored Brian Anderson forever, which Brian Anderson just came out as like the first like openly gay like pro skateboarder. But but he was on Toy Machine. So like Ed like accidentally sponsored like the first openly gay skateboarder. And like he's just gone on to like he first sponsored Bam Margera. Like Viva La Bam,
like
Jackass.
Ed Templeton, the photographer.
Yeah. He owns Toy Machine. He's a pro skateboarder.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's his first thing. Photography just came from skateboarding.
What?
So like.
Good for him.
Yeah. You should look into him more. Like he's got quite the like life that he's like, he was the skateboard world championship winner in like 98 or some shit.
Oh, wow.
And then he owned and founded Toy Machine. So he sponsored a bunch of the team and he rode for Toy Machine and he did all the art for all their decks. So like all those little characters that you see, like the cartoon characters, like the orange one-eyed goblin guy and like the weird red guy with the yellow horns and stuff. Like those are all Ed Templeton's drawings.
Wow.
And like paintings and stuff. So like.
Good for him.
Yeah. Like he's got like so many levels.
Yeah, he does.
Like, and there's other people like Jason Lee, that photographer, actor, skateboarder guy. Like he's in Mallrats and like My Name is Earl. He's in like Vanilla Sky.
Okay.
He's been in a bunch of movies and TV shows. That dude's like he was a pro skateboarder before he was ever an actor. And now he doesn't really act much and just takes photos. He doesn't just take, you know what I mean? Like he's just got like levels, but most people only probably know him from like my parents probably know him from My Name is Earl or something because they watch TV. Yeah. And like I know him from skateboarding and photography.
Yeah.
But like there's so many little things like that like cross over into like art and skating and acting and stuff. And there's like a few people out there that are like, they have like their hands in a bunch of different pots and they're just straight killing everything they touch. Like they're so good at everything that they do and they do it all right. And I like look at that, like that's really amazing. And like, I respect the hell out of like people like that, even though like it's like, I've liked Ed Templeton since I was a kid for like skateboarding. And I liked his photos, but I didn't think anything of it. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but I wasn't like, oh, I want to be like that. But like something about like his work and just being like a fly on the wall. Like if you like look at it, like they were all like, most of his early stuff is all film photos on skate trips. And like he shoots everything with a Leica M6. And he's not like the reason I got like a Leica, but he's definitely like a reason why I was like, oh, I'll check this out. And then I'm like, oh, this camera seems sick. Oh, this person uses it and this person uses it. And like, this seems to be like a standard camera for like this type of shooting. Like, oh, you can service them since the 50s and they're still perfectly working. You know what I mean? Like they just don't break.
Wow. How much are they?
Well, it depends on which one you get, but I mean, it's like $2,000 or a little bit more depending on the body. Like, but you just kind of like look at who's used them and you're like, damn, like I kind of want to be a part of that magic, or I want to like check this out. And so I finally did. It took me like 10 years, but I finally like did. I mean, like Jason Lee, same thing. You know what I mean? Like Cartier-Bresson or Gary Winogrand or Jeff Mermelstein or all these people, like everyone's kind of using like an M6 or an MP or like an M4 or an M2, you know what I mean? They're all the exact same body. It's just like the internal workings like have a little bit of different things going on in them. Like the M6 has a light meter. The MP can have a light meter if you want it. Like the other ones don't, but they're the exact same body that take the exact same lenses. And so you just kind of like look at who's using these, and like you finally like use one that like a friend has, and you're like, damn, this is like a really nice camera that's basically bomb proof. You can service them forever, and they hold their value. Like, let's say you buy it and it's not for you, and there's just something about it. You're like, yeah, you know what? I kind of liked my Contax G2 more. I kind of liked this camera. I liked my Pentax K1000. You know, that was fine. You can sell it for what you got it for. And if you got a good deal on it, you could actually make a couple $100 if you wanted to resell it. I don't know of a single digital camera that makes money after you sell it. Like the second you take it out of the box, you lost $1,000.
It's a used car.
Yeah. And so that's another thing that like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Like so you know, what's fucking crazy is, so that accident that I spoke of, my M7 came in the mail 1 year, like to the day of that accident.
The accident where you broke your leg and got hit by a car.
And was in the hospital for like a week and all that crazy shit. Yeah. My goal was like, when I got out, I was like, you know what? Like I could have died. I want to get a Leica finally. Like I'd wanted one for years, but like $2,000 or more is like a lot to spend. Like, especially if you're like just a bike messenger. And so like recovering, I couldn't walk for 3 months.
Jesus.
So like recovering and then getting working again, it took a few months to like get on my feet, and like, and I didn't start like a GoFundMe or anything. Like I sold some prints and people were super supportive, and like I couldn't imagine like getting by in that time without like internet fans and friends and like people that were close to me that like bought my work, because I didn't want to just ask for money, but I definitely like needed money.
When was this? 2016?
No, so 14? I got hit October 24th, 2014.
14, okay.
And so then I got like an M7, but I couldn't buy the lens and the body at the same time, so I didn't have a lens for it for like a couple weeks. So I like got that body and I just had to look at it. And my friend in LA who just got an M7, because I like don't shut up about him, just got one because of me. And he's like a good friend who's been killing it in photography for the last couple of years. He just got one a couple days ago, and he texted me a photo of it, and it's amazing. And he's like, dude, I can't afford the lens yet. I just have to look at this. And I was like, dude, the exact same thing happened to me. Like I had to literally wait a few weeks and get like another paycheck or two.
Wow.
And then I got like the lens. But yeah, like I finally got it, and like I can't imagine not having it. Like that's all I shoot now. And it takes some getting used to. But
is it a rangefinder?
Yeah.
Okay. I
mean, it's great for street. I don't know, but I guess like kind of what I was saying though is like if it wasn't for me and I didn't really love it, I knew that I could get my money back and I wasn't like losing out on anything, and so like the risk wasn't there.
Is it the same with scanners? Film scanners?
Depends on what scanner you get. Like I have 2 scanners. I have a Noritsu LS600, which is that one right there.
That's fucking huge.
And I have a Pacon F135 Plus, which is in that box right next to it. And so they do entire rolls of 35 millimeter at once.
Wow.
So like I don't get my film cut. And that's why like if you saw that photo I posted on Instagram, like at New Year's, it was like, I think it was like early January where I was like, all right, this is my film for the year. And it was 456 rolls last year. All of it's uncut. And not a lot of people, I would say like 5 people were like, what the fuck, dude? Cut your film up. Why do you have it in rolls like that? I don't
like it cut up.
But I was like, well, I only shoot color and I don't print color in a dark room. So there's no reason to put it in a negative carrier.
Yeah.
Black and white, I do have cut up and they're in binders in my closet because I do print black and white. and you can't load like an enlarger with a giant roll of 36 frames. So yeah, you cut up black and white, but all the film in there is color because I shoot 99% color. Like out of those 456 rolls last year, I would say maybe 30 of them are black and white. It's not, I mean, it might be a little bit more than 99% or like less than 99%, but I would say like it's all color.
What do you shoot on? Like what's your go-to film?
Kodak Ultramax 400 color.
Okay.
It's like $3.50 a roll rather than like $9 a roll for Portra. Portra's great. It's just too expensive for me. And for street stuff, like I don't mind it being like a little bit like grainier. Yeah, it's just like I literally could not shoot everything if I didn't use this film because it's cheaper.
Right.
It's not the best film out there. I would never say that. For me, it does everything I want it to do. The colors are just as good as I'd ever hope for. That's my go-to film. And if I'm shooting black and white, I'll shoot like Tri-X 400. For years, I shot slide film, and my go-to is Fuji Provia X 400. But that got to be too insane when they discontinued it. And I still shot it as long as I possibly could. And I was spending $18 a roll for just the film towards the end. And then I would pay like $20 to get it scanned because I didn't have a scanner back then. Jesus. So I was getting it like processed and scanned, and it was like $19. It was like 18 something, but with tax, it was like basically $20. Shout out to Panda Labs in Seattle. That was my spot. But it was so expensive. But yeah, so now those scanners do like whole rolls.
Just of 35 or 120?
No 120. So, which I don't shoot 120 because I don't have a 120 like medium format camera.
I shoot 120 all the time.
And I don't have a scanner that does it. So it's like I'm so fine with just shooting 35. I just sold a bunch of medium format film to a homie.
No.
Because I didn't know you shot. I thought you were all digital.
No.
Yeah, it was like leftover from a Reebok shoot, and I didn't need it, and I don't have a camera to shoot it. So I just like, it was all brand new. And it just was leftovers. So I just sold it for like ridiculously cheap. It was like a bunch of Portra and then a box of like Fuji Pro 400H.
Okay.
But it like funded this box of film.
Oh, nice.
Well, helped. Didn't pay for all of it, but yeah. But like we were kind of talking about the value when you like started asking me about the scanner. Like, so when I first bought that pack-on that's in that box, I spent $400 on that. Those are like $1,800 on eBay now. Like, it's insane. Because you were asking like, oh, do the values of scanners go up or down? And I'm like, usually they go down. Like if you buy like an Epson V700 or something,
they
or
definitely do.
I don't know what they're up to now, V800 or V850 or whatever. Like I almost got one of those, but I was like, dude, loading those little trays of 35 millimeter. Oh my God.
It sucks. It's
like,
awful scanner.
Those two scanners are the fastest scanners you can get as far as like whole rolls. They do them in like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your settings, like the whole roll. I shoot so much that I couldn't do it any other way. Like there's literally not enough hours in the day for me to like load all those Epson trays with 35 millimeter. Like I've seen people do it and I'm like, never.
So, I mean, how much did you paid $400 for that, and then
so the Noritsus go for like $2,500 on eBay every now and then. Like I saw one go for more, and I've seen some go for less.
Christ.
But that seems to be like about what they go for. But I got mine for like $1,500. And that's kind of why I got it, is because like the Noritsu does like double the file. It's basically
like scanning, like import.
Yeah, it's basically, it goes 6,000 to 4,000, which is basically like 20 something megapixels.
Wow.
It's like a 60 megabyte file. And then the pack-on only does 3,000 to 2,000.
And it does that in 5 minutes.
So the Noritsu on the highest setting is like 10 minutes, little bit more.
Not bad at all.
No. And yeah, I mean, I love them, but like good luck getting a deal out there, guys. Like I got lucky. Like I got it because I'm like, oh, this is like when I first got the pack-on, like in 2016 or something. I was like, oh, this is like not that expensive. It'll pay for itself. And it does whole rolls. It takes a little bit of finesse setting it up because it only runs on Windows XP. So I have like a little laptop I got on eBay, like an old Windows XP laptop that like I have like a little station. And so I just scan everything to that little computer and then flash drive it over to my Mac. And then I have the file.
Okay.
But it's kind of nice having two workstations because I have like my iMac and then I have this little laptop off to the left. And I'm like,
right there? No.
It's like up there. It's above this. It's above the scanner.
I see it.
Yeah. So it's just resting up there. But like, and the Noritsu runs on the same computer.
Gotcha.
So like, I kind of have like a little workstation.
Oh, that's cool.
And it sounds like most people are like, oh, that's too much trouble. I would just run like a background program on my Mac. You can totally do that. I like having two different screens because I can edit Lightroom stuff that I've already scanned and watch movies or if I want while I'm scanning on that. And I'm like, and I'm not taking like RAM and like hard drive space, like while it's scanning these like giant files, you know what I mean?
True.
Like dude, you can get those laptops for like $100 on eBay now. Like, yeah. And it never glitches or anything. Like I know people that have had some problems with like doing the whole virtual box in the back. I don't know. I don't even know how it works. I just like know like people do it. But that's like kind of my process. Like shoot all day as long as like usually I start at like 11 a.m. and go till like when the sun's going down. So like usually till like around 6 o'clock, like when the light's a little bit better. Like 10 to 6, 11 to 6, I usually would just go out and shoot almost every day. And then like at night, I don't like drink or go to bars or anything. So I would just scan whenever I get my film processed and then just edit Lightroom stuff. And like, that's kind of how I got so good at spotting those patterns is because I was like always looking at my work and like, I would remember all my photos and I would remember like the people in my photos. I also refuse to use the word subject when I shoot photos of people. Like I fucking hate when people say, oh, that's a subject. It's like, no, that's a person. Like they're doing something funny or cool, but like, I just can't stand that lingo. But I know people always say that. So stop saying that because they're a person. You can just say that person in the photo. I don't know. I think a subject is like disrespectful. Like they're like a lab thing, like a you're like testing on them or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just always thought it was weird. I've never said it. I'm not going to say it. And I guess since I have an audience, since I finally have a microphone, I'm going to say, stop saying the word subject. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like it, but yeah. Someone posted on Instagram the other day in their story. They're like, oh, this subject. And I just commented like, I don't like when people use that word. This is why. Do what you want, but this is how I feel about it. And he's like, you know what? You're totally right. I've never thought about that. And then he screenshotted our conversation and then posted it in his story. He's like, this person just like called me out for using the word subject to like talk about someone in my photo. I never thought about it, but I totally agree with them. Like, this is why. And like posted it in the thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I like we talked about earlier, like I like having conversations. I like being called out. I like kind of calling out people in respectfully, you know what I mean? Like you don't got to be a dick. Like no one's, myself included, like no one's receptive to like you're hearing you out if you just come at them on 11 and you're a total dick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I think if you just like say like, hey, like I personally, we're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you're shooting street, I'm shooting street. I know people say it in that like industry or whatever, or like that thing, but like I don't, and this is why. And he's like, dude, I've never thought about it. You're right. And then not only did he agree with me, but he like felt the need to like post it and talk about it. That was kind of cool. I don't even know if I would have done that. But I don't know. I like having those kinds of conversations. And I definitely think like our social climate right now, like a lot of people can like be overly like offended, but I also think some great conversations are like coming from that. And it's like great, like hearing some people out. And I definitely like have even changed my own ways of like looking at stuff whether it be like gender or race or female stuff that like obviously I've never experienced, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like I can totally admit that like I've like been so ignorant to some of the problems because like I personally have like never catcalled a girl before.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I've never done it. I've never like joked about it with like the boys or whatever.
With the boys.
Like I've never done it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like I didn't like really think of it. But I've seen people do it. Like the classic like construction worker, like hot girl walking down the street.
Yeah.
But I've also like looked at it like when I was younger, like, well, that doesn't work. Like no guy has ever like catcalled a girl and like gotten a date. I don't think. So I looked at that like that's dumb. It probably doesn't make the girl feel good. I also like don't really go up and just talk to girls. Like that's never been my thing either. So, but like from an early age, I was like, that's stupid. I'm just never going to do that.
By the way, just for the audience, if you have catcalled a girl and it worked, send Jake a message. Let him know the story.
Yeah. But like for real though, like, so like the whole like Me Too thing, like great. That's like an important like movement to have, you know what I'm saying? And that's like a good conversation to have. Like, but like, there's part of me that I was just like, oh, it's like not that bad or, oh, like whatever. Like, but then I was like, holy shit, like this is kind of crazy. Like, oh, that happens to you every day you go to work. Like, I just didn't think of it because I don't do it. And that was like kind of like a wake up call, not for me personally, but like shit, like that's fucked that you have to like deal with that every time you walk down the street. Like you're just trying to like live your life and like that sucks.
Yep.
And so like just shit like that, you know, like having these conversations have like woken a lot of people up to a lot of bad behavior. And when it's done right and people can like learn from it, it's fucking amazing. And I hope people like have more of those conversations.
When it's done right, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of times where it's like, I think both sides are like equal of like being fucking shitty and judgmental to people.
Yeah.
And like, that sucks. And like the internet is like the worst place to have those conversations.
It's so bad.
But like that thing I just mentioned happened on Instagram. So when it's done right, I think it can go a long way.
Right.
And like I've also like posted shit about like animal rights stuff. I don't go crazy with it. I probably do it a couple times a year, but it's something I'm super passionate about. And every now and then I'll like post an article that's just too insane not to like talk about. And I've like listed like the reasons why I became vegan and why I maintain to be vegan and why people should eat vegan. I'm not saying everyone should be 100% vegan, but like, damn, like there's a lot of shit going on that like is crazy that I just wish people would like just care a little bit more about. Like, I'm not saying you have to like change your life in this like drastic, like militant way, but fuck, if you live in some like major city, it's so easy. And it's like, I think of like people going like, oh, like if you like talk about vegan food, like, oh, fake meat. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's true. It is like fake meat, but like, like the meat we get is so unnatural and the way it gets to us is so unnatural from the start of that cow's life or that pig's life. That's like to confine an animal to like fatten it up on purpose with like hormones and shit just to like create a more heavy product and then you can sell more. Like that's not real. That's like a fake way of growing an animal.
Yep.
And then like dairy is like the grossest thing. I would eat meat before I'd ever eat or drink dairy products.
I look at my friends. I went on a trip and like people, we went to a grocery store. I buy my almond milk, whatever. Because I do like almond milk and like smoothies I make.
Yeah, for sure. That's my go-to as well.
But like my friends bought natural, like cow milk. And I was like,
yeah, not natural.
Not natural, but I haven't seen people do that in a while. And I haven't seen like a grown adult like get a glass of milk and actually drink it. And it was just so weird seeing that. I'm not vegan. Like I don't eat a lot of meat or
that's the best. That's what I hope for is just that right there. Just like thinking about it. Most people don't even think about it. And like,
all I know is that it makes me feel crappy. Like if I have one glass of milk,
to tell people.
If I have one glass of milk, I sneeze for 30 minutes straight afterwards. And I noticed this when I was a kid.
See, I'd never even had allergies, or I get it, guys. Like meat tastes good. Ice cream is great. Cheese pizza.
Yep.
I get it. I ate fast food all the time when I was a kid. Like I became like vegetarian around 16 or so, and then became vegan when I was like 19 or so, like 20-ish. But like no other animal on earth drinks another animal's breast milk, which is what we drink from a cow. That's their breast milk for baby cows. So if we want to start talking about like fake meat and like fake this and like real that and natural that, like drinking milk from another animal is the most unnatural thing you can possibly do. No other animal on earth drinks another animal's breast milk. And when people use the excuse like, oh, like a lion hunts, I eat meat. We like as a lion eat. Okay, well, lions don't have iPhones. Lions don't have houses or clothing or Nikes. So you want to pick one thing a lion does to justify like the slaughter of billions of animals a year. I just don't buy it.
It's billions of animals?
It's like trillions.
Oh my God.
With fish included. So
aren't fish
I think it's 9
done?
It's, dude, when you have a net the size of like 3 football fields and they just scoop up whatever the fuck is in its path, including like sea turtles and dolphins and all these things we don't eat that are just dying. Like, dude, the footage of that shit is insane. And Japan's going to start whaling again, and they hide it. They've been doing it. They never stopped. They do it under this disguise of research boats. And they have these giant boats that say research on the side of them. And they pull up these whales, and the whole top is like has a tarp over it. So you can't see what they're doing in there. And they like hack up these whales under the name of research. But really it's just illegal whaling, but they're just saying they're doing research, and they've been doing it forever, but now they just lifted all the bans. So now they're just going to openly do it for the first time in like 30 years. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think it's like 9 billion cows a year in America are slaughtered.
Oh, just in America.
I think so. I forget the exact numbers because honestly, it's been a few years since I've just looked into those sort of statistics because it just bums me out.
Yeah.
But I know that it's like,
but this is a major
billions.
This is a major like source of climate change, right?
Oh, it's the biggest source.
It is the biggest.
Yeah, it's the biggest source of deforestation. And it's like all of the gas and the shipping and the cargo.
Why deforestation?
Because they cut down like I guess Brazil has a really big problem with it. And again, it's been a few years since I've researched it because I've just like tried to live my best personal like way. And I've just kind of like, not that I've stopped looking into it, but I know everything I'm doing is like what I can be doing. And I'll look into it every now and then. So like if I'm wrong on some of these statistics, don't discount everything I'm saying. But yeah, I think in Brazil, they're just cutting down like thousands of acres of like Amazon rainforest to make way for animal agriculture and like cows. Like this is
what we have not enough. Like what?
Yeah. So this is the other thing that like made me become vegan, like for sure. And I'll never not be, is the water and resources that go into like raising these animals, like the fresh water. So a lot of people will be like, oh, like I forget, like, oh, you got to take shorter showers. That's the secret. You got to save water. You know, like don't leave the sink on when you brush your teeth. Oh, whatever. It takes 6,200 gallons of water to make 1 pound of beef. Like, or no, it's like 2,400 gallons of water. It's like something ridiculous. I think it's 2,400 gallons. So sorry if I said 6,000. It's 2,400 gallons because it's like 640 gallons of water to produce 1 hamburger. And a hamburger is more times than not a 1/4 pound of beef. So if you times that by 4, 600 times 4 would be 2,400. But it's a little over 2,400. So that's 1 hamburger. So every time someone goes to eat fast food, that's 600 gallons of fresh water that they're consuming with that 1 hamburger. But I'm supposed to take shorter showers. You're supposed to take shorter showers? Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, yeah. So people like, and I'm not even trying to go on like a whole vegan thing, but it's like, I think it's important to like talk about it, or like someone talk about it every now and then. And it's like, I just want people to eat like less meat.
Yeah.
Like there was like a TED Talk, and I don't watch a lot of TED Talks, but there was one in particular that like I saw that I thought most people could get on board with. And it was like weekday vegetarian or weekday vegan. And if you do like meal prep, or if you like bring your food to work, if you work like a normal like 5-day-a-week job, basically this person was going on and just kind of saying how he became like weekday vegetarian, which then became vegan, is just when you meal prep, cooking vegan and eating vegan, especially when you have like full control of at your house, it's so easy. If you go to the grocery store, instead of buying this, you buy that. In the vegan meat game, if you need meat or you want that thing in your food that much, like the vegan meat game is next level these days. Like you can get such good stuff at the store, and it's not more expensive. It's not that much ridiculous. Like, I don't know why people are like vegan's expensive. It's like, it's not. It really is not
actually,
more.
Like when I just started like transitioning, like getting off of meat.
Yeah.
The past 3 weeks, because it just like, I was off it for a while, then I got back on it when I started like working out this year, and because more protein, I guess, but like
you can get it other ways, but I fully support just.
But it's just first of all, it disgusts me. Like chicken is just gross, and like and now that I'm off of it, like I spend $40 a week at the grocery store on like all my greens and veggies and everything like that, and beans and
dude, beans are the best way to get protein.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't understand is, one, we don't need as much protein as like specified. That is actually part of the animal agriculture industry. Like the whole Got Milk campaign when we were kids.
I fucking hate that. And it got outlawed.
That was a total scam.
Yeah.
To get people to consume milk. It's like, I'm not even like a conspiracy theory person. I'm just like fact based, and I just want to know the truth, and I just want to look into the things that I'm consuming and like know where it's coming from. And like, they've spent billions of dollars a year to like fool people into like needing this for protein, needing that for calcium. It's bullshit.
I would never feed my kid milk.
It's the most disgusting thing ever. And I get it. It tastes good, but like when you really break it down, it's so gross. But like, we don't even have to talk about it forever. But like, one of the things I was going to say is like the like weekday vegan, like you can just cook the food you want, or like get a burrito at Chipotle with like the soy stuff. Like it's super easy to do if you walk to a spot to get lunch. And then if you want to go out to a fancy restaurant and you want to go with your friends, and that you don't want to be like the only vegetarian or the only vegan, like whenever that happens once or twice a month, like get a steak or get a chicken thing or whatever. You're still making a positive impact. You're still like getting the protein that you think you desperately need, that you can't get any other way. Like, the thing is like, it's all like, you can do it. It's super easy. And I think more people can get on board with that than just being like flat out vegan tomorrow. I like would highly suggest it. Basically, I worked out for a living, riding my bike hundreds of miles a week. I'm still alive and well. I did it all vegan.
It looks great, people.
Like so it's great. Just like, you can do it. It's not that difficult. But yeah, like look into where shit comes from and like where the resources go. Like people are like, oh, it takes so many gallons of water to make almond milk. That's true. It is not the best milk you can drink. That's the least amount of water, but it is nothing compared to chickens, pigs, cows. Like it doesn't even compare. Like per gallon, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what like the meat industry is doing. It's kind of insane. And just try it. It's literally 3 feet over on the shelf.
It's not even that. There's a really good one called Ripple. I don't drink it because it does have sugar in it, but it's really, really fucking good. It's called Ripple, RIPPL.
I eat a lot of sugar. That's my thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to break from it.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. It's terrible for you. Like, yeah, I completely agree. But I just like have said no to so many things in my life that like,
sugar is not one of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like, I know what I'm doing, but I'm not like completely blind to the fact that it's garbage. But yeah, I like vegan donuts a lot. And
what?
Yeah.
There's donuts?
Yeah. Every Whole Foods, all those donuts are vegan.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
They say so, but they're good no matter what, vegan or not. And then like here in San Francisco, there's one specific grocery store that not everyone has. So depending on where you are, you don't have a Whole Foods. Rainbow Grocery, they have tons of vegan stuff. That's like, I don't know this for sure. I think Rainbow Grocery is vegetarian. I don't think they have a meat butcher deli thing.
You're right.
That's crazy.
They have like cheese and milk, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's still veg. Yeah.
It's a really cool market.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. I would go there because I don't go to the meat counter ever.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize they didn't have it.
That's true.
Like, I just didn't realize because it's so like not in my like day-to-day routine of like getting like a pound of chicken or whatever. I don't even know what you say. I've never done it. I don't even
know what you say.
I've never done it in my life. Because by the time I was 16, I was still living at home and my parents grocery shopped. I never grocery shopped. So like I've literally never in my life like been like, oh, I want a half pound of turkey or I don't know. But yeah, all I'm saying is we should just think a little bit about what other people go through, where our shit comes from, and just do our personal best and vote with our wallet. Because that's the change that actually matters. Yeah. Because like voting every 4 years is important, but I think voting every day with what you choose to consume and where that money goes is way more important than whatever that vote can do. So true. Because like these people don't get money from nothing. And like, I just think that's the most important thing. Again, just my opinion. I just want people to do their personal best. And for me, like, I just try not to be a hypocrite myself and like lead by example, and the things that I'm like personally passionate about, I like try to live by, because like that's what made me become vegan. Someone not vegan, I was like talking about like meat and they were like, do you drink milk or eat cheese or something? I was like, oh yeah, like I eat pizza and like donuts and stuff, like eggs and all that shit are in muffins and donuts. You know what I mean? And he's like, well, how the fuck are you going to talk about this, and that, when the dairy industry is like this, and that? It's so messed up. And I was just like, yep, you're right. Next day, vegan. That's literally what happened. Was I got called out by someone who's not even vegan or vegetarian. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So there we are. I like couldn't say shit to it. But yeah, like one of the things we like, you kind of talked about, and we kind of went into a different way, but like was like climate change. Like, I don't know anything about like the scientific findings and like the temperatures and like all of that. But what I will say is all of the cities we've built, all the like man-made things we've made, all of the deforestation we've made for crops, like all of the like cars and automobiles and trucks that we've like that put like smoke into the atmosphere. Like, let's say like the earth as like an ecosystem is like a human being, like we have lungs, and whatever we breathe in, like we kind of get put out. Yeah. So like, and this is just what I've witnessed, and I kind of thought about it like a year or two ago, is like, never mind like the back and forth, like right wing, left wing argument. You know what I mean? Like oh, this is science based and like all this shit. It's like, yes, I agree with like the left, and I agree with like the science based findings on all this stuff. But I'm just saying like what I've witnessed. So let's say all the smoke we've been like putting into the atmosphere, all the like deforestation. So the smoke is like a cigarette, right? Like the earth is breathing in smoke every day. Like we're smoking a pack a day. Let's say the lungs are the plants and the trees that like clean our air. Let's take half of those trees out to build all the cities we've built, all the deforestation we've made in the crops. So now we're smoking a pack a day with one of our lungs. You're way more likely to start feeling the effects of that than you would have with two. So like, you're gonna have crazier winter storms, which we're getting. You're gonna have crazier hot summers and drier seasons, which we're getting. Yes, sir. Like, it's not an opinion anymore. Like it's, right. And like I said, I don't know any of the science behind it. I haven't looked into it. I just know that it's true, because look at what we've done to the earth. Like, yeah, right. I don't own a car, but I've definitely been in cars. Like, I'm guilty, whatever, you know what I mean? But I don't use them every single day for work. Like I walk or ride my bike anywhere I want to go. And it's like, yeah, I have clothes. Like, yeah, like they're made in maybe overseas factories, some of them. Like a lot of them I try not to, but like I have Adidas. I'm sure they're not that much better than Nikes. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but like, I just think like there's consequences to all of this shit. And I think that it's insane that people are in power that literally think nothing's going on.
I think, no, they know that something's going on. Like, there's no way that. Yeah. I mean,
but their profits are too high to like.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to keep
say,
it going.
Oh, wait, actually, we got to get off of fossil fuels.
The craziest thing to me, though, is if you were a business owner and like you're literally getting in, like, I've read things like, if we don't change, like 30 years left on Earth, that's like what they think is possible. Like, you can't like eat money. You can't die with money. Like, what are you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird. Like, you'd think if your profits were your biggest, like, you know what I mean? Like your biggest goal, that you would want the Earth to sustain itself so you can keep making more money. Or like, isn't that in your best interest?
One thing that I don't understand, like, though, whether we want to believe it or not, like, we are going to have to go energy efficient. So whether that be solar, wind, ocean, whatever it may be, like, I don't get why all these fossil fuel companies are like disregarding it and trying to make as much profit as they can in the shortest amount of period of time right now. Like, I don't get why they don't invest some money, like little small amounts of money, to make the best solar panels ever, so that they can like market on that and then sell it to the rest of the world and be like number one in that. Like, in my opinion, that's just stupid on their part too, because then China's going to come over and like do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's like when the cars were invented, people were like I read like a tweet the other day that was like Donald Trump is like saying that like we're having a war on the coal industry. Like, we're trying to end the war on coal.
Oh my God.
Like, or we're starting a war on coal, not ending it. But it's like, when cars were invented, that wasn't a war on like horse-drawn carriages. That wasn't like like when like iPhone, or like when phones were like cell phones were invented, that wasn't like a war on like a landline. That was just like a natural progression of like what we need to do to like make society more convenient, like safer. Like, these old technologies need to go. And new technologies can take their place. And I'm not even mad at rich people. I'm not even mad that you want to make money and that you have the funds to like create a company. Like, yeah, make money. I don't care about that. I wish you'd get taxed a little bit more and pay into society a little bit more. And I'm not even saying a fuck ton more, but just your fair share is all I ask. Like, everything I'm paying, you should pay too. It's that simple. Like, I don't want more. I'm not even mad that you're rich and have money. I'm not even mad that your family was rich. Like, but when you're just that irresponsible, where you're just like poisoning the fucking planet and just like bleeding all of the money out of it, like, it's just craziness, and it's so irresponsible, and it's so old, and like, like, I guess they do know. It's just like hard to fucking watch, because I've like thought about this shit for years, and I'm not even like that fucking smart, and I'm just like looking at it like, this is so bad for us. I don't know. I mean, I guess all this shit's been said before, and like, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe people might take away from it, but.
Well, I mean, two last things I want to say. Like, it's also really sad seeing I believe in climate change, but my family doesn't. Right. So it's like, oh, I don't know if, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is going to be here. Like, my mom wants to get a house by the beach, let's say. Like, you probably shouldn't do that, because in a couple years, like, even in San Francisco, like, scientists are predicting like outer sunset is going to be gone in 7 years. Like, the part right by the beach. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that could happen.
Yeah, that's just what I heard from a friend, so that could be wrong. Who heard it from her environmental class. But and then another thing is, like, there was a Green Deal that just came out. Alexandria Cortez came out with a Green Deal, which is like, all right, in the next 10 years, we have to spend $7 trillion to reinvest and change buildings and be the leader in green energy and like have no carbon emissions from the United States. And people are like, $7 trillion, that's almost as much as World War I. Like, that's crazy. But like, I kind of find it funny because people are so willing to spend all that money on war and killing
This
people.
is World War III.
Yeah.
Like, this is a war where our world will die. We're not fighting an enemy like of another person or nation.
Right.
We're like fighting an enemy, which is like the atmosphere that will like make our plants stop growing. It like, or what, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Right. It's like, it is a war. It's craziness. Like, it's crazy to think about. You just don't have, there's a lot of people that like believe in God. That's fine. But most of them think, and I've heard people say this, like, what if you're wrong? What if you don't believe and you get to heaven and then you go to hell? Let's just bank on the fact that like, what if we're wrong and global warming isn't real, but wouldn't we have a better planet and cleaner planet to live? Like, there's no downside.
There is no downside.
Like, not at all. Yeah. I just think it's so crazy. And like $7 trillion, that's nothing. We send $10 million to Israel every day. But we don't have healthcare because it's too expensive. Like, we have the money. It's craziness. Like, it's such a facade of like productivity and such a facade of fucking bullshit and lies. Like, and again, I'm not a crazy conspiracy person, but like, this is the shit that's real.
Yeah.
Like, if you have money to kill people, which is like what you're talking about with war, you should have the money to save people first. And like, the whole Make America Great Again thing is like the saddest display of this facade that I've like ever seen in my like young life. Like, okay, Make America Great Again. Which America are we talking about? The America that was like the most innovative nation, that invented electricity, that invented the automobile, that invented oil, like these things that are that are used responsibly can do amazing things, or the nation that completely got cocky and stopped trying 50 years ago and every other nation passed them up because South Korea has the fastest internet. Like, China invents basically everything. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, or do you want to make America great again where we like had slaves? Like, which America are these people talking about? Like, because it was never that great. But the thing that I think we did great was like invent shit that other people then took. Right. Like, and made better, or not made better, but like made their nations better. Like with transportation, like New York City was the first subway system. Every other city has a subway. London Underground, Paris Metro, you know what I mean? Like, every city has like a train system. We invented it. Like, we did do these great things like, that other nations looked up to and like followed suit in. And now other nations are like waiting for us to like invent like green renewable energy technologies that they can adopt and possibly even buy from us. Like, the $7 trillion would get made back in a day if we just invented the right shit and made it possible for them to buy. Yep. It's so crazy. And I know nothing. I'm in control of none of this. And I know it's not going to be easy. I don't think anyone's saying it is. Right. But fuck, isn't it like worth a try? Like, is it like, I just believe in like investing in like your neighbor and yourself. Like, if you seriously think America is this fucking great, then be great. Like, lead by example. That's what I try to do, is like be the best I possibly can. And hopefully someone else feels the same way or wants to like do that too. And then they inspire somebody else to be better. I don't know. It's just craziness. It's kind of hard to watch because, again, like, I'm not in like a position of power. And also, like, isn't it strange how like when it's an isolated incident, everyone gets engaged? Like, I think the whole 21 Savage thing that's happening right now is like super interesting. So 21 Savage is that rapper from Atlanta, but really he was born in England. I didn't know that until the other day, and I don't think most of his fans knew. So he's in ICE detention right now. Like, he's in like ICE prison. What? And they want to deport him back to England, which he moved here. I've heard two different numbers. I heard he moved here when he was 7, and I've heard he moved here when he was 14. He's detained by ICE right now because he's here illegally. Like, he didn't have a visa or something. But I read today that he like tried to renew it several times and was like declined. And so they want to like deport him. which is like, and everyone's freaking out about it, right? And it's like, yeah, it is unfortunate, and I wish him well, and I wish that he could stay, because like his entire network of friends, his entire career is like based here. But like there's millions of people that are like detained or deported that are going back to like very fucked up places where like they're subjected to like gang violence in like Central America, or they're like going to be raped repeatedly or beaten. Like there's like women that need help. You know what I'm saying? And I know that now more than ever, more people care than they've ever have before. And we are making positive changes, but obviously it's not even close to being dealt with. But one of the things I just find insane is how like this one person just takes over the headlines. Like, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, okay, this dude's worth like $30 million or something, and he's like 23 years old. He'll be fine in England. He can still rap in England.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to him. I wish that he could stay, but like what I'm kind of getting at is like these isolated incidents, like of famous people or something, like, or like when that lion got shot in Africa, like Cecil the lion, everyone lost their fucking mind over it. Yet we kill billions of animals every year, and like people are like perfectly okay with it.
Yeah.
Or like when that gorilla got shot at like that zoo in like Ohio. Yeah. So like we have these isolated incidences where people just lose their fucking mind and just attach so much energy into. But like I am more about animal rights than any single person, but like I don't understand why you don't care about all the lions and all the elephants and all the rhinos that are senselessly being fucking killed to the point of extinction. Like 60% of all those animals in Africa are like gone. Like 60% of like there's like species or more. Like we just lost like one specific species of rhino.
I just saw a documentary on that
like
last
a couple
week.
like a year ago. Like there's no coming back from that.
The white, like
I
the
forget
last
which one.
Male white rhino.
Yeah, that's it.
Karoo. Oh God.
And like, is it the end of the world? No. Does it suck? Yeah. Do people not give a fuck by the billions? Yeah, no one talks about it.
Yeah.
But that one lion got shot, and yeah, that sucks. Wish that didn't happen. But everyone freaked out about it. Everyone wanted to petition that dentist that killed it to like end his practice and ruin his career. Yeah, that dude fucking sucks. He's a trophy hunter. I guess he has a house filled with these exotic animals. The dude fucking sucks. But guess what? It didn't take that lion's death for me to feel like that guy sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And so it's like, it doesn't take 21 Savage being detained by ICE to like make people give a fuck, but obviously it does. It's just craziness to me. Like, dude, if I was worth like millions of dollars and you put me on in some country, like a developed country, yeah, I'll be fine. Trust. Like I'm, especially if they're English speaking, like he's going to England. Like he doesn't have to learn a new language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's getting sent to like Germany and he has to learn German and he knows no German. Like,
yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, I just wish people would like really like stop and think about like this recreational outrage that everyone feels about a certain topic. And like, dude, there's petitions being signed to like free 21 Savage.
What about all those kids?
He's worth millions of dollars. He has the best lawyers on his team. He does not need a fucking art show to get saved. What about people at the border? What about the caravan of like these victims of like gang violence in like Colombia and Ecuador and El Salvador that are literally like, it's just so stupid to me that like I see this shit and I know that that's an isolated incident and I'm like getting mad about it. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. That's why it's so stupid. Like, dude, I know every Kardashian's name, not by choice.
Not by choice.
You know what I'm saying? I've never watched a single episode. I know their fucking names, dude.
Yeah.
Like this shit is just like bombards you every fucking day. It's just absolute asinine bullshit. Like I know about 21 Savage's legal problems right now, but I just can't help but think that like it's so stupid and that people should like care about real shit that like.
But also, you know about it.
And
you've done some reading.
That, you know what's fucked is like I don't think I know anything. Like I only know like surface shit, but I definitely don't just read the headlines. Like I will read an article, but I don't even think I know like a fraction, like a 1/1,000,000th of like the bullshit. I just like try to like learn about shit as much as I possibly can, and like think like I'm fucking lucky. I'm okay. Like I'm had a perfectly fine life. You know what I mean? Like I've seen some crazy shit. Some crazy shit's gone down, but like, dude, there's so many people that are worse off than me. Like I can't be that fucking mad. Like I wish things were better for people and animals and like the earth, but like I feel like now has never been a better time. Like I feel like we've made so much fucking progress. I know it's not as fast as like we want it to be. It's so crazy how quickly shit can be destroyed, but how long it takes to build. You know what I mean? Like you could bulldoze a house in an afternoon. That shit takes months to build. Yeah. It's really crazy. I've like thought about shit like that before too, where I'm like, damn, how quickly it can get taken away. Or like a life, like how, like I've seen like crazy like accident, like YouTube and shit, where you're like, how is that person not dead? Like a BMX crash or like some drunk video on World Star or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, how are they not dead? Like that guy fell off a roof. Yeah. I saw that guy fall off like a 3-story roof and he just got up like it was nothing. Yeah. And then like some dude like trips in a bar, hits his head weird and is like a vegetable or dead or whatever, or like trips on a sidewalk. There's like crazy shit. Like how fragile we all are and like how resilient we all are too. Like I've had some crazy injuries and then like I'm almost all okay. Like I have screws in my leg and stuff and I feel it, but like, I don't know. It's pretty, life is the craziest shit ever. Every day I'm like blown away. And now that everyone has like a camera on them at all times,
do you feel like that's good or bad?
It's the double-edged sword. Half of it's the best thing ever. Like when I was a kid, I would always watch America's Funniest Home Videos with Bob Saget. Like I thought that was the funniest shit. You know, I was like 7 years old or whatever. That footage we all saw was when almost nobody had a video camera. Yeah. Like it was like the dad at the birthday party was filming and happened to get something good. Now we have cameras, high quality cameras. That's like, I'd emphasize that. Now we have high quality cameras that are almost paper thin sized in our pockets, and everyone's filming at all times. Like my newest shit that I'm into on the internet is like college videos, like 5th year on Instagram and like Barstool shit, like shit like that. There's one called Chicks where it's just like drunk girls doing dumb shit. Dude. Oh my God. Like the reason why my zine isn't done right now is probably because of those Instagrams. I will just get trapped for like an hour a day of just like watching the dumbest videos ever. Like people just sledding down their stairs in their apartment and just like jumping off a roof. And I don't even drink or play beer pong. And that's most of these videos. But like, fuck, it's gold. I like unfollowed World Star. I can't fuck with World Star anymore. Like it was just getting so stupid with like Tekashi 6ix9ine and like that Cash Me Outside chick. I'm so glad you don't know. He's shaking his head.
No. I do.
Oh, you do know. Okay.
I do know, but like, it's just,
dude, it was terrible. It's total garbage.
The people that we follow nowadays, or at least these kids or whatever, like, it's a walking dumpster fire. Yeah. And everybody's into it.
I finally said no. I was just like, nope, not doing it. Because I liked World Star for a minute. Like there was a lot of funny videos on there. And I'm not super into hip hop. And I did like watch some hip hop videos and stuff. But mainly I was into like the craziness. And like there is some craziness on there. Like I said, we all have these like high quality cameras, whether it's a photograph or a video, the video setting, you know what I mean? Whether it's a Snapchat video or an Instagram story, like I've seen crazy shit in just a couple of years we've had this technology. Like Snapchat's only been around for what, 5 years? Like, or maybe 6, not even. It's like, it's pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, like I fucking loved shit like World Star for years. And then I just was like, nope, because I do not care about fucking Bad Baby or whatever her name is. Like, like Cash Me Outside girl. And then that Woah Vicky chick and Tekashi 6ix9ine. So you don't know Woah Vicky, but you know about 6ix9ine?
I know about 6ix9ine.
Okay. So imagine 6ix9ine, but a girl who's even younger and the worst.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's terrible. But I said no. And I forgot they existed until he got arrested. And now I'm like, oh, he's going to prison forever. Good night.
Good night.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm into when I'm not shooting photos, is like watching documentaries and hating on dumb motherfuckers on the internet that literally are talentless.
Mm-hmm.
And they do nothing. I don't know. Have a passion, have a talent. And if you don't, be a supporter of people that do.
True.
Because like, I know tons of people that are like good friends of mine that they don't take photos, but they like my photos. They like other people's photos. And every now and then they'll buy a zine or a print, and they probably do that to other people. And like, that's the one thing I wish I could do more of, is buy other people's work, but I just don't have the money right now. So I'm kind of just like doing me, but I see zines all the time up for sale of like photographers I admire, and I buy them when I can. But like, I always will comment like, hey, I have no money right now, but fucking kill it. Like, that's sick. I'm glad you're producing something. Like, I don't know. That's the one thing I wish I could do. So if you have the money and you want to support people's work, not even me, I'm not selling shit right now. There's nothing in my store. But like, if you see something out there that $10 or $15 or $20 or whatever, like, just don't go to the bar one time, or don't buy 2 drinks.
Yep.
And just like buy a zine from someone or a photograph and put it in your apartment and buy a frame. It's not that fucking hard. And that Audrey Hepburn stencil painting you bought at IKEA can come down now, and it's garbage too.
That is so important. Support other people's work. 100%.
Yeah. Even if it's like twice a year, something, or get it as a gift. That's the thing I tell people all the time. Like, even if you don't want it, but you know someone who will. Like, my friend was selling patches. Like, one of my best friends since elementary school was this girl named Alex LeMay. One of my closest friends. She's hands down the hardest working person I know of, let alone personally know. Like, I'm talking about anyone on the internet, like any CEO or whatever the fuck. This girl crushes anyone. Like, I'm nothing compared to this girl. Like, she's the fucking raddest, nicest person. And she's like the most original. Like, Urban Outfitters has personally verbatim like ripped her designs off like 5 times. Like, you know, those things you see on Instagram every now and then, like, oh, this company ripped my design off.
Yeah.
They've done it like to the line like 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So someone at Urban Outfitters or whatever is like following her and like literally saying like this and like producing it.
That's so
Instead
gross.
of like hitting her up and like collaborating and saying, hey, we would love to buy this design from you.
Why not just have integrity?
Exactly.
I hate big companies do that. Or like, I just came back from Sundance, and like these big, you know, movie production houses will just take people's work. Yeah. And so there's like lawyers that were there who were like, if you have this happen, like, you know where to come to, which is just insane to think about. It's like, why not just hire that writer or director? Right. Because they're there. They have a name attached to their work. Hit them up. And it's not like it's a ghost. They'll take less money. Also, like,
it's not a ghost. You know what I mean? It's not this thing. So yeah, like, so she runs a thing called, I'm going to like look it up because I want people to like look into it because it's amazing. Okay. I think it's Moon Goddess Market, but, yeah, like, she made like a bunch of patches, and let me see.
Dude, everybody loves patches, especially if you're in like a trendy hip area.
Yeah, it's Moon Goddess Market, like MOON GODDESS MARKET. Yeah, Moon Goddess Market. She makes the sickest shit. She made some patches that just said Desert Child. We're both from Arizona. So I bought like 5 of them and just like gave them to people from Arizona that I knew would like it.
That's awesome.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
I know that took me a while to get out because I went into a whole thing of her getting ripped off. But she's like one of my best friends. Moon Goddess Market, male or female, support her shit. She's like hands down one of the most original people I know. I love her to death. We've been through crazy shit together. She's always been by my side. I've always been by her side. We talk all the time. She's always fucking coming up with shit, designing shit, producing stuff. Like she makes a living at her store, but she also gets ripped off. And you like, even when you work so hard, you can't help but think like, oh, I could have made $5,000 on that design, and they would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's sold in every Urban Outfitters. Like that $5,000 would have meant so much to her. And like Urban Outfitters totally has the funds to collaborate with artists. I fucking despise that store. I will never spend a dime there.
Also, their clothing is like so shitty.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you
It'll
even
fall
look
apart.
at it in like 85-degree weather, it will just shrink and like the stitches will come out.
Yeah.
It's like the worst. I mean, it's nice looking sometimes, but it's like
that's
the
how
worst
I feel about
clothing.
IKEA. It's well designed. It's just not well made. Like all of their stuff like looks good. It's nice, simple lines, classic. It's not too much. It's everything it needs to be, but like it's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how like the Urban Outfitters H&M shit. I'm like, yeah, I guess it looks nice, but it's complete fucking garbage, and it's bad for the environment. And that's like a whole other thing. But yeah, like I just wish these companies would just collaborate with artists, because they know where they're getting it from. It's not just like pulled out of the internet. Like these designs come from these people, and like, yeah, I'm kind of just sick of like watching independent artists take the risk in creating something that's cool. And then like a year later, like Urban Outfitters comes in and acting like they invented the shit. And then like they like sit back and don't take the risk. And like someone else takes the risk that could actually like ruin their business and creates like a fashion trend or whatever. And then like a year or two later, oh, here comes Forever 21. Here comes Urban Outfitters. Here comes H&M ripping like the bomber jackets that were cool like 2 years ago. And like whatever the fuck else, like they're all just sitting back waiting, and then they come and rip it off. It's so bad. So yes, support friends making shit, even if it's not your thing. Get it as a gift, because your $10 or $15 is literally like funding these people's art. And who the fuck knows where they could be in a couple of years if they just got like that little push of support. You like never know. So that's the one thing I guess I could say is support your friends that are making cool shit, because they can make cooler shit. And who knows, maybe they'll even employ you when they make their own store. You never know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For the second time. Jake Fricker.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Woo.